Also, third, did you see the spell that I posted in Discord?
Oh, yes. I'll consider. I'll get back to you on that.
I mean, screw that guy in particular.
If you want to do spell research, there you go. You could do screw that one guy in particular.
I just had to share that. That was just hilarious.
There used to be a really weird interaction if you did a bunch of 3.5 stuff where you could get something like this. It was one of those things that was obviously not intended, but with all the interactions, you could like divine someone from 3 miles away when they would take damage whenever you did that. So you just like scrying them constantly and just hit them with little points of damage.
They're just like, what? Ow, 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 what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here?
Now, there is a spell like this
mean.
that it doesn't strike them with lightning, but it is kind of screw you in particular. It is the dream spell.
Ooh.
Can wizards get this? They can. It's 5th level. So a little ways to go, but you can cast this every night on somebody and essentially ruin their life.
Interesting.
Please don't cast that on me.
Hey, Brigwin.
So the spell's like a Freddy Krueger troll kind of thing?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
You can use it for communication too, which...
Oh, sure, if you want to take the pedestrian version of it. Use it for its intended purpose.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah. I've got this Holy Beacon spell. Yeah, I'm going to use it as an orbital strike.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we'll allow that.
All right, so sounds like we're all live then.
Yep.
We all ready to go?
We are ready.
Yes.
All right. Well, last time, the party was sneaking into the Palace of the Deep King in order to deliver an important item. It was going pretty well, actually, for most of the time. They got in without incident, some very, very high rolls. They are with 3 other members of the Grey Ghost, so they do have some backup. And they had gotten actually down to these stairs leading downwards. So they have to go all the way from here to here and over here to get to their contact. But unfortunately, there was a magical trap. It's always a magical trap that was triggered at this location, which caused a stone wall to appear as per the stone wall spell. Liam, you'd be instantly familiar with what happened there. And a shrill alarm rang out as per the alarm spell. Liam, you'd be instantly familiar with what happened there. So we resume as that has happened. And as you've probably guessed, we will need to, if nothing else for the purposes of tracking time, roll some initiative.
Yeah, I was about to ask if we're already in initiative.
So it begins.
Yeah. So you haven't seen any enemies, at least on this side yet. Like this is just happened. Those of you on this side, which is Taston and the 3 amigos over here, you do know that, as Liam has pointed out, there are some invisible guards over here. So you know there's 4 invisible guards in there.
Yeah, fun fact, I now can't see them.
Right. Well, I mean,
because I don't have Liam to point them out anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, their invisibility goes away the moment they do anything.
It's true. But
so
it's gonna
they'll
be
just get a free
something.
hit on your face, and then you'll see them.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So
it's the only advantage. Like you got to take what you can get, right?
Because this may become important. How invisibility works is this: unless they choose to like actively stealth, you still can hear them, and you can target them with stuff that's like an attack roll that doesn't require you to be able to see them. Right. That is at disadvantage, though. Now, if they actually try to stealth and they succeed, then you're like, I have no idea where they are. But they've got metal armor on, so who knows what they're going to do.
So do you have grease on that side of the wall? Because we do on this side. The spell grease. Yeah, just the ability to make a bunch of.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a cleric spell.
I don't know either. That's why I'm legitimately asking. I don't know.
I think that's a.
So anyways, about that warlock I wanted to roll.
Yeah.
He's coming down the hallway right now. Oh, okay.
Hey guys.
I should probably actually roll my initiative. That would be a good thing to do.
Oh
yes.
18.
Ooh.
18. Okay.
I got half that.
I mean, you almost made double digits.
All right.
You're approaching double digits, right?
I got 5.
all right.
You're not approaching double digits. You're not
Oh,
quite there.
wrong direction.
Let's get rid of these guys. So
I was hoping mine
We
was going to
will.
be the worst.
Oh,
we
don't
will
you
roll on
worry.
your friends here
Don't you
because
worry.
they may have some things to say about this.
Oh my God! What moron
Yeah.
didn't? So
Yeah.
I was telling Sis about this. Like you were talking about rolling to discover what the rune was, and you rolled what, like a 2
Pretty much,
to
yeah.
figure out what that stupid rune was. It's like, oh,
Lights are pretty.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was a critical fail or just a fail, but I remember it being low single digits.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was not good, unfortunately.
Nope.
So the exact nature of it wasn't really determined.
Never
All right,
seen this one
and-
before.
Well, good news, Tassin, you're
Oh.
not last in your group.
That's the good news.
Mm. They just apparently they're very surprised. They bombed their rolls. And we'll get rid of Rod over here since he's not participating in this.
Yeah,
Right.
he's there.
He feels a sudden
Spirit.
strange disturbance in the force.
Yeah.
Crashes in through the window. Wow. Well, good news. I'm rolling terribly for the other people as well. All right. And wow.
It's like that car alarm that everybody has and everybody knows what it sounds like, so nobody ever bothers to even pay attention to it. 'Cause
I
it's
mean,
the same
yeah.
car alarm that always goes off.
So
Uh-huh.
they're like, oh, again?
Someone shut that
Yeah.
off. Is that mine? No.
No.
All right. So, believe it or not, Mark and Liam, you're actually first and second.
Wow.
That's sad. That's really sad. Okay.
So, Mark, this alarm has just rang out this shrill whistling sound. The stone wall has just into existence.
I'm gonna
and
roll
that is where you
dwarf
stand. You're gonna roll dwarf.
on the
Wait,
wall.
what?
Oh, okay. Stonecraft.
Thank you. I didn't know what to call it,
Yeah.
but I'm rolling dwarf on the wall.
Rolling dwarf.
I guess I'll be
dwarf
rolling
on either
human?
beer,
What do my dwarf
wall,
instincts say?
or I'm not sure what else. Maybe crafting. I don't know.
Yeah, stonecraft.
Mining.
Stonecraft.
So, yeah,
Stone masonry.
I admittedly I'm not sure what to add to this.
So it's going to be double your proficiency plus your intelligence.
Okay, well that's great because my intelligence is +0,
Mhm.
but that is going to put me at a 24 because I rolled extremely well.
Okay. So I'm going to give
For
you a
once.
lot of information about this wall.
Sweet, bring it. I'm ready.
Hey,
All
Tyron.
right.
It'll go away if you punch it right here. Is the first thing I'd like to know.
So
No, it's
you,
locally sourced, artisan, conflict-free masonry.
3%. As-
3,
as
yeah.
it should be.
so based on it and the sounds in relation to everything, you estimate this wall is probably about half a foot thick. And it is definitely anchored to the other portions of here, so probably not something you could like knock down or anything, but you are pretty sure that it can be destroyed just like normal stone. It will probably take quite a bit of work to do so, however. Since you rolled so high, I'll just give you the number. It has 30 hit points per inch of thickness, and it is 6 inches thick.
Oh,
It has an AC of 15.
Wait a minute.
okay. That's
I can
180
watch.
health.
Oh,
180 health and 15 AC.
Now,
Is there DR? Do I get that?
no, but there is an
Okay.
AC of
Yeah,
15.
yeah, okay.
Now, certain types of attacks like thunder damage or using picks or something like that can be more effective on it. And of course, if you use something like shatter, then you
I
damage the
cast.
entire
Oh
thing.
wait, wrong character.
Yeah. Like AoEs will damage the entire thing at once, right?
Yeah. I don't have, and I mean, I could shoot my I-beams through it, but I'm not sure that would be worth a damn.
And you can tell with
Easy
your
there,
stone cunning,
Cyclops.
this is non-magical stone at this point. It is something that has
Oh,
been
thank goodness. I was
willed
actually
into
wondering about that.
existence, which also means it cannot be dispelled.
All right, so as a free action, that's my first free action. Here's my second free action. Because I have infinite free actions, right, in this turn.
Depends on what an action is. What? You have infinite free actions when everything is a free action.
So I'm going to be really brief about this in lore, in character. I'm just going to turn to Liam and turn to the thing and say, "That's super thick. You want to try it?" Like that's that might not happen, but it might take a while.
I could
But no, I'm
try.
not saying all that. It's just
I could try a shatter.
Do you have shatter?
I do.
Oh, well, that might help. Okay, so as fun as it is to just kind of keep rushing down that staircase and go solo the rest of the adventure and make my GM's life hell, I'm going to go ahead and so how many action do I have? A full action here?
You have a normal action.
I am going to 5, 10, 15, 20. Shoot. Okay. I'm going to hold my action until no, wait, I've got it. I'm going to ready an action.
Mhm.
And the trigger for my readying an action is shatter being cast on the wall.
Okay.
The moment that happens, I'm going to rush up and punch it with a full round.
Okay.
The charge
All right, so you
attack,
do the old
basically.
Popeye, just
1,
start doing
2.
this.
Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, Liam.
Hey, it's your turn. I pick you up and use you as a battering ram.
No, I was just going to ask, how close is Mark to the wall?
He's back here.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm nowhere.
Oh, okay.
He's like 35, 40 feet back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought with the stone cunning he might have moved closer, so I was worried. Well, I hope no one's close by the other side of the wall.
Nope, not at all.
I can't shatter on it.
You can tank it.
Okay.
You can tank it.
Yeah, do I roll to soak damage?
It's
Well,
not going to make it through.
It depends on if it makes it through. Yeah.
Yeah, it probably
Okay.
won't. It'll do double damage because that's an object,
Okay.
but
So, shatter. Okay, go ahead and roll your shatter damage as this
Infinite double damage.
loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from the wall. And
See,
it does
it's 3d8.
3d8 level 2, unless you want to upcast it.
Ooh.
yeah, I admit that I have the same equation going in my head, Guido. How much of my cooldowns do I want to burn just getting the party united, right?
Yeah.
Because we are on a deadline as of this moment.
Yeah, I'll upcast it.
Listen,
Yeah.
use the full arc reactor. Come on.
I'm
Full
going to
beam.
burn a key on my action I'm about to take here, assuming you don't get through it.
All right, so that's
If you do, then hey.
4d8.
Can I do the Phantom Menace lightsaber thing and use Dawnbreaker to kind
The
of
music just like
jam
starts
into the
swelling
wall?
as you're
Yeah.
doing it. You're like, oh.
It's not a lightsaber.
Recall he did actually make it through.
Yeah, fair.
All right.
Yes.
So 3 7s and a 6. So 21, 27.
27. Okay. That's a lot of damage.
Is that before or after doubling?
I did not double anything.
So that should get through then.
That should get through because that's a lot of damage. All right. So
I'm
no,
ready
it's
to
good news
roll
and
for
bad
my-
news.
Yeah, here's the bad news.
Dawnbreaker
Wow.
takes 50 damage.
Yeah, I do, Kitties. I do need to make a. Well, here, technically, I do need to make a con save on this thing.
Yep.
It has disadvantage. Yeah, I guess I failed. All right, so Kitties.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're using our wizard names now. Taston.
Yeah.
Please make a Constitution saving throw as the wall explodes in front of you and thunder damage just rings out past it.
Straight or disadvantage?
Just straight.
Okay.
You are not made of stone.
That you know of.
that you know of. Yeah.
The best part about that is if you think about it in lore, what happened is this thing slammed down, an alarm sounded, and then less than 6 seconds later.
Yeah. 14.
14. Does that save versus your DC? Liam, sorry.
Probably not.
Con save 15.
Off by 1.
On say 15. Okay. So
All right. How much damage do I take?
no, I'm not gonna have you take the full amount because it has been blunted somewhat by this wall, mostly blunted by this wall. So you did 27.
I like to think
That's
as
not
he's
too bad.
casting it, I'm leaning up to listen against it, thinking like, maybe I can hear them saying something on the other side. What's that noise? And then explosion.
What's that ringing sound?
Yeah.
Okay, so that halved.
I did not expect that to get through that easily.
You
I
rolled
thought it was
like-
going to be like a group effort of like spell cast, then super punch. Not just like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean, I didn't expect it either, but you rolled very well.
Yeah, no, that was a good roll, and with the doubling, and it hits every layer simultaneously. Yeah, that's the end of that.
Yep.
Shatter
Okay,
is a nice spell.
So it's double and then back down. Okay, so it's not too bad. It's only going to be 6 points of thunder damage to you.
Oh,
Aston.
okay.
Um,
Not too bad.
now there's a couple other people behind here who probably don't want to take this damage.
I'd like to say comically, it throws me back against somebody else.
Oh. They take a bit of damage, but they seem to weather the brunt of it. Rugar are naturally resistant to this sort of thing. The Darrow gets some bits of shards in his face, but they seem to be relatively okay. And Liam, you're standing on the other side of this blown apart wall. Everyone's ears are ringing.
You're welcome.
What? What?
You can thank me later.
I'm not that hungry. It's fine. Let's go.
Liam, would you like to move anywhere?
Yeah.
Away from the bed.
5, 10, 15, 20. I'm just gonna hang out over here by Mark.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
So in the interest of fairness, I read it in action.
You did. Do you still want to do it?
Okay, I can cancel that. No,
Yeah.
no, we're good. We're good. I thought I was committed because I'm like, yeah. Oh.
No, you can actually the way that so it basically it eats up your reaction, right? But you can choose whether or not, like, if somebody decided to move past you, you could do an opportunity attack instead of that if you wanted to. Like, you don't have to do it.
I'm gonna punch Liam as he runs past me.
Okay,
That's my opportunity.
Does
take that.
I can't waste this punch.
Look, I've got this wound up.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't understand. Okay, I am gonna ask Liam as my action to be watching, basically, especially up the staircase that he just moved up to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And that's about all I got. I'm just gonna kind of chill for the moment.
Boris moves through. He looks at the stone wall and shrugs and says, "Well, I guess they know we are here now."
Let's go. Let's go.
He readies an action.
He readies an action
Right.
to run the hell away.
Yeah, he seems to be covering the back right now. Taston, it is your move.
All right.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna shake it off and move on up.
I like to think
Okay.
I have those airplane things, and I'm just
Okay.
And go.
All right. The Durgar Stone Guards have finished their surprise, so they now have their reaction. Let's see. Your scientist leader moves up, and she looks at Liam and just gives you like a well done nod, and continues to move down. She will dash, and she's going to try and push past you, Mark, to start going down the stairs. Yep. All right, she goes down there. We'll move her down there. And I'm brewing a sneeze, sorry.
I hate that.
Yeah. There are some individuals who emerge from the doors over here.
Oh no.
Yes. It's like a clown car, like 10 people spill out.
Yep.
No.
Typical.
Where are you?
It's
Color
literally like
coded
every
everyone.
space, every square in there is packed with a dwarf.
Two guards who look like they have just sprinted to their feet. Bust open the door and look out. They are armored. These seem to be the active guard. And they see this motley crew right here. And one of them points at who looks threatening. Oh, Taston, because you're the tallest. And Liam,
Great.
you're probably the other tallest. They point at both of you and tell you in broken common to surrender and put down your staff and your weapon. And 10, 15, 25. That is as far as they can move. You see they both have shields, and they have what looks like some short swords, and they are in a obviously practiced formation here where they are protecting each other as they advance. All right, and they raise up their knives. That is the end of their action. Let's go, Darrow. He seems surprised, but kind of pleased at the destruction. He is snickering, moving forward. 10, 15, 20, 25. He reaches into his sack and whips something out. Where are you? Okay. He pulls out this vial, which looks like it has this orange and red, like undulating liquid in it, and tosses it in the direction of those two stone guards.
Let's see this going badly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it misses and smashes.
I figured it's one of those die packs, like for the money bag.
Yeah, it's like we'll be able to track these guards wherever they go.
Yeah.
And it smashes on the ground, and you see it combust and flame up as soon as it hits the air. And this tile is currently on fire, although he has failed to hit the guard. It just kind of bounced off of their shield and hit the ground.
Okay.
But that square is currently on fire. No problem. At least something's on fire now.
So screw that particular tile. Got it.
Yeah. All right. Back up to the top. Mark.
Okay. I'm okay. I am actually quite hesitant to kill these people, especially since they're the people who I ideally would be in charge of the guards after the change of government, which we're trying to effect here. And we just kind of need to get there. So what I'm thinking, as someone who's brave and courageous and has a sword named Dawnbreaker, should be hanging back here to defend and just hold the line while the rest of us just sprint. Who has the Dragon Egg?
The Psionicist has it right now. By the way, you do know that she has it in a bag of holding on her.
I figured, but yeah, that's it's important information.
Yeah, I will say that this wasn't said last session. All of you do know where it is, just in case she goes down or something like that.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is we should probably split the party.
Yeah.
In order to not kill all these people, and that's the goal: is not killing. Now I have no idea how to do that. Does anybody have any idea how to not kill these people? Like I don't really have a lot of stop. I mean, I can try to grapple, but I don't have any class features that allow me to hold the line other than just sitting here and trying.
Do not
to
have
live.
web.
Actually, no, I do. I could do perfect defense, couldn't I?
Perfect defense. That would work. And you can punch them unconscious, unarmed, melee strikes. Automatically have the option to knock someone unconscious instead of killing them.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, so I've changed my mind. Liam, you should probably go up with the Scion and honestly, you too, Tasden, and everyone else. I'll stay behind. I'll do this. I got this. All right, so I'm going to shuffle over here.
Well,
Okay.
Hold on. Before you do that,
I'm not going to shuffle. I suddenly have this thought in my mind of pausing. I turn to look at Liam.
I could cast Control Flames on that tile that's on fire and spread it.
Everywhere.
Well,
Castle burns to the ground, turning
It's-
overall.
it's stone. It's not going to catch on fire.
I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah,
It's-
the only reason you figured this is burning is that it's alchemical. It's like napalm.
yeah, and that honestly, I feel like
Yeah.
for if these are actual armored trained soldiers, I don't think that's going to do much to dissuade them. It's going to be 1d8, and they're going to move through it, right?
Yeah. Now, control flames will keep it going if you keep using it for sure. But yeah, you can make an insight check if you'd like on these soldiers, just if you want to try and determine what.
I'll do that. I got decent wisdom. That's 21.
21. Okay. You get a very strong suspicion that they have not really slowed their advance due to this fire.
Yeah,
You think they're probably going to push right through it.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead. So all my attacks are intending not to kill. I'm just gonna preface that right off the bat.
Okay.
I rolled decently on my insight. I almost said intuit. Haha. How constitution-y do these people look?
They look pretty hardy, like how you would expect a trained soldier to be.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I'm not even gonna try to stun them. Okay. Okay, so sorry, I'm reading my defensive abilities that I've never used. So I'm just making sure I know how these work.
And just as a reminder, they're wearing chainmail and wearing a shield.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to look up how dodge works in 5th edition.
Okay. I can tell you right now.
And how does it work?
So anyone that you can see has disadvantage on attacks against you. You have advantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
You cease to dodge if somebody reduces your speed to 0, such as by grappling.
Do I have to renew that every round, or is it just up until
It does. It lasts until your next turn.
That's what I thought. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I'm gonna scuffle forward.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, you don't even have to do a roll because I doubt they give a damn. But I'm like, we're here on behalf of the assembly or whatever they're called. I forget what they're called. The people were trying to make do the call of no confidence against the king.
Oh, the Council of Lords.
We're here on behalf. We're here to see the Council of Lords. We have to see the Council of Lords, and they're going to shrug and keep it.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, it's true. You could roll. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
But and after saying that, I will go ahead and start flinging some attacks.
Okay.
Now, I'm pretty sure I have 2 attacks right now, just at the baseline.
That's right.
Now that first one doesn't do job. I'm not even going to tell you what the answer to that one is.
Okay.
Second one is a little maybeater. That's going to be a 16.
16. No, that blocks it with its shield.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to burn a key.
Okay.
And use my key to dodge as a bonus action on let's say that one.
No, dodge works for everybody.
Oh, I'm gonna dodge.
Yep. Perfect defense. You're the dodge tank now. Top
Yep,
evasion.
I'm just standing there dodge tanking, ready to counterattack as needed.
Oh,
That's my action.
Okay, Liam. So Mark is over there tanking him, per se.
Take the stone and run.
Yeah. As much as I hate to do it,
I mean, I'm fully in favor. I really do think this is probably our best overall option if we don't want to kill.
Well, because then can't you disengage after we've all moved up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
as a monk,
okay.
I can just
Yep.
out of that.
Bag of tricks.
Bag o' tricks.
so 5, 10.
All right. And you come out over here. Geez, actually a little further over here.
Oh, actually, it was a 17 to hit.
Still, it is still blocked, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. I keep forgetting I have a +1 magic thing. I need to
Mhm.
remember that. I really do.
Yeah, you came very close, but they're pretty good. All right. Yep. So you come into this hall. You can hear the fight upstairs, although it's not nearly as loud as you would expect it to be. You think there's a little bit of a architectural thing going on here to make sure the sound isn't reverberating all over the place. But you expect that ringing and the shatter was probably heard like down here for a little bit of a distance. You hear some things going on. Sounds like maybe a meal or something like that, although the voices are obviously talking about something that has gone on. You can only venture a guess as to what. And you recall this from the layout, Liam. So where would you like to head from here?
I suppose I could technically just double move.
That's true. Just occurred to me, you could just start blowing through walls and just get up to your objective up there.
Yeah. I find my own path.
These are a little bit thicker than the walls.
So tempting. So tempting.
Yeah.
You've unlocked the title Kool-Aid Man.
Right.
Honestly, that should be the name of a feat. And it just gives you bonuses to smash through if you do it. You know?
It intentionally leaves like just that thin veneer on the other side, so you actually have to physically smash through.
Yep.
The shock master right now.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to do the double move.
Okay. All right. You hear some more activity coming from on the other side of this door. It sounds like boots and armor and stuff moving. Not in your direction, just in general. All right. Morris moves up. 15. He looks over at you, Mark, and he says, "You want help?" Okay. Suit yourself. 20. Morris pads down after you, Liam. All right, Taston.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Mark.
All right. So, Mark, your AC goes up by 2 as this shimmering field of energy surrounds you.
Stay strong. I'm out. Peace.
Just want you to know, good luck. We're all counting on you.
Yeah.
Okay. So here is the moment of truth. As Tassin runs down, gives you the Shield of Faith. Both of the stone guards raise their arms to attack you, Mark. So there's a few interactions that are going to happen here. So they're going to activate something called Phalanx Formation. And what this does is it normally gives them advantage on attack rolls, but since you are dodging, it is a wash. And this happens when they are next to each other. So they are basically using each other to attack you, essentially in a trained way. And make 5 attacks each. No, only 1 attack each. Only 1 attack each. They're not that bad to try and hit you. So the first one swings around. What you see as a short sword and rolls a massive 13 to hit.
That does not hit.
All right. And the other one going right after the brother rolls an 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
With the AC help?
With the AC pushes me up to 17.
Okay.
So close.
Yeah.
All right. So it is an amazing 8 points of piercing damage. You do notice that they are not trying to kill you, though. Obviously trying to take you alive. And they shout out, "There are more going down the stairs. You, Darrow. You will help us and we will pardon you for this crime." All right. Scions.
Turn to Darrow and say, "If you help them, I'll murder you in your sleep." I don't say that.
All right.
It was their plan.
All right. The Scion looks over at Liam and looks at the door like she's asking if you want it open, if we're ready to do this.
It's go time.
Hmm. Shit.
She says, I
I mean,
can't
she
take
is
a
a
look.
scion.
Hmm.
She can do some things. She can't shatter.
He says, I can take a look if you would like, but we do not have much time.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. She opens the door up and slips on through. You can see in the other chamber over here.
Just
where this
blood.
huge fist is.
Just blood.
Yeah, there's just a huge thing of blood. There's bodies all over the place now.
Well, that escalated quickly.
No, there are some people in here. They are not soldiers. They are not guards of any sort. There are a bunch of what looks like people, some angry people, waiting to either petition or upset about something. These are obviously some of the upper crust of the city who are a bit angry about things going on or just want to, lobby.
It's okay. We have a fast pass.
Yeah, you have a fast pass.
True.
They seem to be kind of shaken and looking at the door as it sounds like some explosion just happened. Let's see, where are you? I'm just going to put some people in here just in case you start, killing merchants and stuff. But
I'm down here trying desperately not to kill people. Can we continue that trend? I know I'm no longer part of this decision making, but
We'll see.
We'll see. No promises.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are a lot easier to kill than the guards I'm holding off. I'll give you that.
Yep. You do see that there is a drow in here who seems to have been taken prisoner not by a bunch of guards, but several of the Duragar seem to have made a citizen's arrest of some sort.
Is the drow currently hate plaguing?
What's that?
Is the drow currently hate plaguing? Because that's always obvious. We can always tell when someone's going, when the rage has taken them and they're violent.
No.
Oh, that kind.
Yeah, hate plague, right? It's
he seems perturbed more than anything. We'll just use this for now.
Mildly displeased.
Yeah, like how dare you, that kind of stuff. Ooh, he's not that big. All right, and the Durgar are staring daggers at him. 15, 25. The Psionicus starts sprinting towards that area, and then we will come to next in line. The others. So another door opens up upstairs, and you see what looks to be not a guard, but a more scholarly looking figure. You recognize these from the keepers that you saw previously, Keepers of the Flame. Pokes the head out, and there's this big waft of like smoke and fire that comes out of the door, not uncontrolled, just probably like it was built up in there from whatever had been coming on. And looks around curiously at what's going on. You can see his eyes widen, and then he goes back and shuts the door.
Nope.
Yep. All right.
Do not blame him.
Yeah. Hard pass.
All right. 10. Muscoville is going to reach into his bag again. He's like, I got a special surprise. This one's pretty good.
Oh, boy.
This one's really good. You're going to love this one.
And by love, he means the exact opposite.
Yeah. So he pulls out a clay flask. And
I got a bad feeling about this.
You and me
Mark,
both.
you don't have to be an alchemist to know what's in this, because you've seen these in general stores all over the place. Whenever you buy your lamp oil, this is what it comes in.
Oh, boy.
All right.
This is a chemical burn.
Yes. So he hawks it around at this general area and then continues to move down the stairs. And he's not going to get as far because he's not dashy. And we'll see if he manages to hit anything. So is this a save or is this yeah, it's just a ranged attack. Okay. He misses. Let's see where it goes.
Oh boy.
One, two. All right. It it splashes behind the other Duragar over here.
Oh, thank God. I thought I was just waiting for it to splash on me.
No, I figured it was
And so
going
I
to
was
be
just-
behind you and you were going to be boxed in.
That would be even
It's like,
better. I'm just like, okay, sure.
thanks.
The wall is held, apparently.
Yeah.
I figured, ooh, even more food.
All right, Mark.
That's good.
With some extra salsa.
Mm.
Thank you.
Roasted red chili.
Ooh, roasted red chili salsa.
Ooh,
Yes.
that does sound good. All right, so this is going to be just same verse, second verse, same as the first. I'm just gonna
Mm.
I'm gonna offer them a chance to surrender in the name of the House of Lords. I'm not even going to wait for a response before I start punching, because they're not going to. Now you notice I'm just ignoring these. That's because both of them miss, and then I burn a key to dodge.
Okay.
And that's my action.
All right. Battle of the Champions here. All right, Liam. The door is open to the main hall. What would you like to do?
I'm going to follow the psychic, this psionicist. So
Okay.
5.
All right. So you see a few additional creatures in here now that you are in here. And with the invisibility up. There are, standing in front of these two very large Duragar statues, 2 stone guard. They are obviously invisible. They have like the shimmer around them that you can see invisible creatures with when you have seen visibility on. They are obviously looking at what is going on over here right now. You can see that they have a few more pips on their helmet. They seem to be a little more upper ranked than the grunts you've just been encountering before.
Okay. What's the psionis? Keep saying it wrong. What's the psychic's name?
Never given.
Okay. I'm just gonna basically do the psst, trying to get
Okay.
their attention.
Okay.
And so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So at this point, I'm going to do trying to get their attention.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she's already kind of looking over her shoulder just to make sure that everyone's coming through.
There's 2 of the stone guard up ahead, right in front of those statues.
He says, oh. She looks like she's not quite sure what to do about that and is still processing that info. But she slows her halt, or she slows to a halt when you do that. Like she's not planning on running past this area anymore. Let's see, do you have a normal action you'd like to take?
I'm going to cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'm casting it.
Okay.
Stand by hand.
You're just going to cast Mage Hand, wave to everybody in the room like, hey.
I thought it was invisible.
Mage Hand by default is not invisible. No.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm not going to do that because that would draw attention. However, oh no, it's a ritual, so I couldn't do it.
What are you looking at?
Unseen Servant.
Oh yeah, I think that's like 10 minutes of casting time. Well, you can do it as a ritual. It may be one of those ones where it's like ritual, or you can cast instantly with
yeah.
a spell slot.
Yeah, but I'm not spending a spell slot on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Nope. I am going to cast Prestidigitation though.
Okay.
I am going to create a foul smell behind. Yep. Behind the guard that is closest to us.
Okay.
That one.
All right. Okay.
Because we're still technically, I'll say, hidden because of the psionicist's ability, correct?
Well, yes and no. I mean, if you start casting spells in the middle of the room, then obviously you're not hidden anymore. You're basically like kind of unnoticed. And I mean, they don't have any reason to turn around and be like, you. Like they don't have shared mind vision of what's going on or anything like that. The big thing is just like casting spells in front of people is generally noticeable unless you make some sort of like either deception or sleight of hand check.
I will try the sleight of hand.
Okay. You do have to be within 10 feet of them to cast this.
Oh. Never mind. Okay, I can't do it yet.
Okay.
I forgot about the range on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a general rule. Unless you have some extraordinary ability, it's usually either a deception or sleight of hand, or, circumstances permitting, maybe not, in order to cast something with like visible hand signs or audio or something like that, and not have somebody notice it that's near you.
Yeah, I just figured we were still protected by her, like, not invisibility, but the...
Oh, yeah, you do. I'm not saying you don't have a bonus or anything like that. But I wouldn't want like an enemy mage to be like standing next to you in the room and they're like, oh, because that's not for you.
So,
okay. So is there anything else you would like to do with your action then?
nope.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Boris comes through. 15, 20, 25. He gets in here and he kind of looks around at everybody and takes he tries to fly it more casual. He's like, hey, everybody.
Rolling on through.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. He's flying casual about as well as you'd expect him to be. All right, Teston.
I am gonna do.
Dawnbringer tells you, I don't like this place.
Yeah.
This place
Not a fan
smells
either.
of corruption.
Yep. Right there with you.
Right. Yeah, as they're getting closer, just testing like Dawnbringer says that stuff all the time, but you're starting to feel a little icky as you move into this room and start getting closer. Like something's not super right around here.
Can I make a religion check to see if I recognize a cause?
The taint.
Yeah.
Gross.
What?
16.
16. Okay. So you just kind of recognize this as a place. It's like not desecrated, but there has definitely been a lot of evil creatures that have like moved through here or are currently inhabiting this place.
Okay.
Like there's just a general thing of like, yeah, this place is heading downhill. If you were back in the temple, you'd probably be calling the priest and being like, something evil is here and we need to fix it before it gets worse.
You need an entire vat of holy water.
Yeah, it's not quite to the holy water. It's not quite to the whole point of holy water, but it's one of those things where there's enough evil here that has been here for enough time that it is having an actual presence. Effect. This is something like if an evil creature moves into a place, eventually it will turn the landscape and the area into its domain. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
But maybe it is, maybe it's not. But You've got that woogie sense. All right. Is there anything you'd like to do with your action?
I would like to hold my action. Basically, my plan is if we start getting noticed, I want to cast thaumaturgy to create a sound at a distant location to try and draw their attention.
Okay.
See if we can maybe potentially sneak past up through this area.
Right on. All right. There. Why are Duragar so slow? All right. So the sound assist, after you have informed her of what's going on there, seems to think for just a second or two. And then she will kill everybody in the room. No, she will.
Oh, and it wouldn't surprise me, but
Just
if only she could, I'm sure she would, but that's unfortunately not something she can do.
a little disappointed in you there.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't murder 50 people at once. My bad. Not a wizard.
No, I was actually saying that in, I'm disappointed that you killed everyone, not that you can't.
Okay. And I just assumed the opposite. All right. You know what? She's going to go for it. She is going to try and sneak through here. So we'll give her a check. Actually, you know what? Yeah.
Sorry, my name is not
Okay.
Enzio.
So you see her just holding her breath, just trying to move along the wall and remain unnoticed from these guards. And they seem to, their eyes almost seem to just be passing over her, almost somewhat oddly. She is moving very, very slowly. There's obviously some magic still affecting her from that aura that she was emanating, which allowed her to get past this. All right. And back upstairs. Both of them say, if you surrender, we'll make sure you're not immediately executed.
And you're trying to kill me right now, so I'm just saying.
Right. They're going to try to use their beat 'em swords to kill you some more.
I'm afraid I have to follow my sworn duty, sirs. But if you surrender, I will ensure that neither of you get executed immediately.
thanks.
Right. And then we'll try to attack you. 16 or 16 to hit. Yep.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Next one we'll try again with a 13 to hit.
Nope.
All right. They have both missed. They both look at each other.
It's impossible.
And we just can't do it. One of them looks at the other one and says, I've got this. And he'll
They
move through
abandoned their
here,
phalanx.
take some fire damage.
Whoa, that's bold.
Yeah.
Do that Far Cry thing. Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, takes max damage. Oh.
Oh, wow.
But Rush, would you like to take an attack of opportunity?
Absolutely. Still non-lethal.
Okay.
I'm still not trying to kill
Yeah, the
anybody.
fire's going to be more lethal. At this
Yeah, I
point.
know. If I... Oh. What's my crit range as a monk? It's just 20, right?
Just 20.
Ah. Well, I rolled a 19, so I'm guessing that hits them.
You do hit.
Finally. What am I at? D6s or D8s right now? Yeah, scroll up. I am at D6s. Damn. When do I get D8s? God. When do I get D20? I want to roll D20s as my damage dice. Is that okay?
I mean,
That's going to be a 9. No, a
9.
10. Excuse me, because of the
10.
+1. I got to keep remembering the +1.
okay, that's a solid knock to the back, and he stumbles a bit, but still continues to move with purpose.
I'm warning you. I don't want to hurt either of you.
And he is coming down. Oh, he runs into Darrow here. Oh. And you hear shouting from behind down this hall, shouting to stop the intruders, stop the ones coming down here. And it is kind of coming through over here. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on over the den. But there's definitely someone coming down, informing everyone of what's going on. Meanwhile, another door opens up here.
Oh, I see it.
And this one actually is a clown car.
Oh, great.
Oh no.
That's bad.
Darrow's servants come out.
Oh.
Give me a drink. I mean,
This battle's being catered.
No, I mean, that's actually not a joke. That's going to be my knee-jerk reaction, just to try and confuse him for at least a second. Give me a drink. I come up with some dwarven drink off the top of my head.
Beer.
One beer. Lots of
So
beer.
they come out, and they're not armed. They have like general work outfits on and everything, and they look not scared, but they look just amused. What's going on here?
If you surrender, you won't be executed immediately. I don't actually say that.
You would just make a joke. Are you trying to just keep them away from you?
You know what? Yeah, I would like to try to do some kind of role of back off. I'm trying to think what I would say in character for that. But either way, I assume that's a charisma check.
Charisma, intimidation, unless you just want to be like,
That's
hey, I'll give you money.
Listen, I am super amazing at charisma. It's a plus 0.
Okay.
So that makes that an 11.
An 11. Okay. You see a couple of them just chortle at you. They seem to probably be more afraid of their masters here than you.
Of course. Fine. Whatever.
We'll see what happens to the morale with this battle, but for now, they
Yeah.
just seem to be content with watching what's going on. All right. Full skill. No one can really see what's happening over here, so I'm just going to roll some dice.
Just randomly.
Just
Yeah.
no, nothing's happening. Let's see. Dragon damage does this much.
If only.
If the red dragon shows up right now, that would be funny.
You do hear, that would be something, wouldn't it? You do hear the person who is yelling down here abruptly cut short. All right. Mark.
Swing.
Swing. Okay.
All the swinging. This,
Or
I mean, my
offenses.
strategy hasn't really changed much.
Right.
He doesn't have phalanx though. So what's his AC right now?
It is still the same.
Okay.
The phalanx helps him on offense, not defense. Well,
Well,
it helps him on deck saves.
I
But
cannot seem to roll more than double digits. So let's get our second swing. Or more than single digits. Okay. So 21. Tell me that hits.
that does hit.
Oh my god.
No, you just missed it.
Ah! That is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage.
Okay, take it.
Still non lethal.
Okay.
Now hold on. I'm
Yes.
gonna debate something.
Um,
No, I'm gonna keep burning my key on dodge.
Okay.
But I am gonna move.
Okay.
So can I do my bonus action before my movement?
Yes.
Okay, so I take my bonus action to give myself dodge, then I
Mhm.
move here and
Yep.
provoke the
Because
odds.
you want that disadvantage on the attack.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. He will definitely try and swing.
Let me burn that key.
So one of them is a crit, but the other one is a 17 to hit.
That what do ties do? Because I have 17 AC.
Ties hit.
Ah,
Oh,
I am
it's not a
hit.
crit though.
Yeah, that's. I'll take the hit.
So it is 6 points of piercing damage.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Glad I did that though. Okay.
Oops.
Can I give
Okay.
the player a reminder?
What?
Well, I'm asking the GM here because it's technically metagaming.
No medic. Day
If
10
it's
HP
just-
for metagame.
Go ahead.
You do have a healing potion.
I do. Yeah. I'm not super concerned about that. In fact, I actually have something else too that I haven't blown yet because I think this is going to get even worse. I have a stone skin once per day right now too.
Right. Yeah.
So
Wait, if you get hit with a crit though, don't you have to do that that slime impact?
yeah, but I had the
roll?
dodge, so
Oh, okay.
it didn't actually crit me, which is probably a good thing because I don't think these people need to realize that I'm demonically infused while we're trying to infiltrate their castle.
Mm, they do have something against that.
Yeah. We're here to free you from the tyranny of your king.
By the way, I'm blessed by Jubilix, so let's do this.
Yep.
Actually, I'm gonna, if it's okay, I'm gonna go like, I just
Ooh,
really want to be right in the
my.
freaking hallways is the goal here.
Okay, so you want to, okay, so you're going to spend part of your movement to just stand in the middle of the hallway, basically.
Yeah. And
All right,
just,
so you
like,
can
really
see down,
brace
and you see the
yourself.
Darrow down there. Looks like he put one of those poison darts in this Durgar, who is currently on the ground with those massive black spidery veins all over him.
I'm sure he's sleeping.
And he's looking up, he's reloading his hand crossbow, and he's just looking up you and grinning. Yeah, that's what he says. He's just sleeping forever. He's gone to the eternal abyss.
Why are we working with the, can we kill him when we're done?
He's like a deranged
This
Agent
situation?
47.
Yeah, it's like Agent 47. If Agent 47 really liked his job.
Yeah, a little
I killed
too
that guy
much.
with a briefcase.
It's a briefcase. I like the sound of it, though.
It's great for killing people. I'm done.
All right, Liam.
Would I know how far I can move being sneaky to try and sneak past these guys? Or
Yeah, so basically what happens is you just would move your normal movement.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not halved or anything to sneak.
No.
Okay.
There's certain classes that get advantages for doing half speed, but for normal people, it's just you just move your speed.
And I'm up by the psionicist.
Okay. I will require you to make a stealthy check with the plus 10.
Okay. Natural 20.
Wow. All right. So you are the unseen among the unseen.
Oof.
Yeah. So you get around here. There are some more guards over here. Of course, you are the only one who can see them. You also do see, and you know you're close to your goal, but you do see a clan marking on the side of one of these. You seem to have gone into the area where the different clans have their headquarters and rooms, things like that. You know the specific one you're looking for.
Okay.
It's not that one.
Okay.
But that is one of the areas. Okay.
Really quick, I am going to whisper to the psionicist. Guards on either side of that door.
Damn. It looks like that spell is good, but it's not good enough to just directly pass in front of this person right here, because you literally just have to walk in front of them. Yeah, she does not seem like she likes that that bit of information, but continues to think. Says, if you've got any suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, we have to do what we got to do.
Fireball.
Yeah, if you got a fireball, that'd be real helpful. All right.
Super
Boris.
quiet.
Boris. He is going to try and make it through. Thanks to the magic, he continues to sneak around. Test it.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Anytime you hear your mage say that in the party, that is a terrible sign.
I'm going to hang back a bit and see how this plays out.
Yeah, you see smiling teeth up there, and they belong to Liam, so you know what's going on.
Yep.
I got a bad feeling about this.
All right. Yep. And as you get closer, of course, Tess, the feeling gets stronger. You can tell it's definitely coming from this central chamber area, which you know is the meeting area. And judging by the guards and judging by the closed doors, it's currently in session.
Okay.
Council is likely in there along with the king.
All
The
is
deep
coming
king.
from inside the house. Got it.
Mhm. Is there any action you'd like to take?
Ken, I'm going to hold action to see if I need to cause a
Thaumaturgy
auditory
again.
disturbance somewhere else to distract.
Okay.
In theory.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right, Mark, you can see around the corner those other stone guards are finally making their way over here. And they are shouting in Dwarven at the Darrow to either help or get out of the way. And the Darrow just seemed to be, the Darrow seemed to be a little bit scared of these particular stone guards, and they seem to be starting to shape up a bit. But that is the end of their turn because I am Darrow and I am, or Durgar and I am slow. All right, the sound assist. So she looks around the corner. You know, of course, she doesn't see them, but she looks over to Liam. She says, "There is one thing I can do."
So before we do that, because I would have still had an action on my turn.
Okay.
I want to cast Prestidigitate.
Okay.
On the ground underneath the door between the two guards.
Which two guards? Here or over here?
These guys.
Over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to soil the ground to make it look like there's a puddle of blood under the door.
Okay. If you like, you can do that on your next turn because it is a 10-foot range.
Oh, crap. I keep forgetting about
Yeah.
that. Okay. Yep.
So you would have to literally be like up here in order to do it.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to inform the psionicist of this plan. That's what I'll do.
Okay. Do you want me to try and get by while they're looking at it? Is that your plan?
Aye.
Okay. If all else fails, just so you know, I'm turning invisible and continuing on.
Very well.
You'll lose the aura when I do that.
Understood.
All right, so she is going to ready an action to move in stealth. All right. Trump, trump, trump. Sir holding the line. He looks a little upset right now. He is going to try and grab you. He puts the sword down and tries to grab you. Now, you may make an acrobatics check to oppose. You have advantage.
Okay. Acrobatic strength, I assume?
No, Dex.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
By all means, sir. Try. Crap, I rolled really badly. Oh, I have advantage.
Yeah.
Thank God. Okay, that's much better. That's 20 something. That's going to be 22.
Beat him by 2.
So
So
my first roll was a 3 on the dice.
yeah, thank goodness for the dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he reaches forward and tries to grab in. It for a moment does. It seems to have amazing strength.
Wow.
In numeric, it's 18.
Oh, Jesus.
But you do some. You've got perfect defense on. You know how to counter this.
Yep.
So you do a twist away and manage to break his hold on you, and he does not manage to grab you. And that is the end of his turn since he has used his action to do that. Looks really, really upset now.
Listen, if we could just, you can just let me walk away. I clearly don't want to kill anybody here.
There's no walking away now. Now you will die.
Oh, okay.
If it was not against the rule, I still have to take you alive, actually. But
oh, okay. Well,
Wait a minute.
I do appreciate that. At least I'll be alive for 5 seconds.
He looks down behind you down the stairs and sees like the dead dwarf down there, the dead Durgar on the stairs. He's like, okay, now I actually can kill you.
Thanks.
You, Dara, what are you doing here?
Quick update. I can kill you now.
Quick update. According to section 3, paragraph 2.
He has a full book behind
He does. He's just got it right there. You know.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey.
man.
They got rules. Maybe lawful evil, but I got rules.
Great.
All right. So they are not combatants, so they just kind of awkwardly move around here and just wait for an opportunity.
Perfect. They're blocking the way.
Yeah. The guard dogs come.
Yep. I've been playing 2 games in a row where dogs are terrible enemies, so this is just beyond brand.
All right. So Uskville turns around and he looks at you and says, well, that seems like a terrible position to be in. He's reloading the crossbow and dipping it
I
in another
grab
bolt.
him and throw him into the darrow.
Yeah, he is the weapon.
Have fun. No.
All right. So he is going to aim his hand crossbow up the stairs.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So how much is this going to kill me if it hits me? I'm just wondering.
It's going to suck.
I mean, can I live through this? I guess is really the question. I got 70 health.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Probably because you are a dwarf and you have resistance if this hits you.
Thank God.
But go ahead and make an insight check real quick.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
That's actually a good one. 21.
21. Okay. You suspect this dude is trying to bluff his way to pretend he's aiming at the person behind you, but in fact is trying to kind of hit you a bit.
Yeah, no, that's not what I would call surprising, if I'm being real.
So he shoots. Well, he has disadvantage.
Yes, he does. Because that affects everyone who's trying to kill me.
So the first one I rolled was a 19. The second one I rolled was a 7.
Oh, thank God.
So it goes wide. You can here's a question: do you want to deflect arrows on this and try and catch it and throw it?
Yes.
Okay.
I have the key. I'm going to burn it. That costs key, right?
It does cost key on your reaction.
Yep, there it is.
You do technically have to reduce the damage, although I think for just a regular hand crossbow, you're going to do that automatically. How much? Can we reduce it by?
1d10 plus my dex mod plus my monk's level, so that's going to be 10 plus, so
Okay.
11 minimum.
Yeah, the basic hand crossbow damage you can do cannot meet that. So as long as you spend that key, you can catch it automatically and redirect it to somebody.
And actually, interesting. If I'm reading this correctly, I can actually catch for free. The key is the redirect.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's right. You're right. Reaction is catch
Yeah.
for free and keys.
So I'm absolutely going to catch it one way or the other.
You have a poisoned crossbow bolt in your hand.
I'm going to go and burn the key. Throw it at the darrow.
Okay. Make a ranged attack roll.
It's just dex, I assume, for that.
No, it's like making an attack with the monk weapon.
Okay. So we're going to do 20.
You crit him?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So we technically have to divide this separately. So let's do the crit damage first.
Okay. So
what
do we got? What am I rolling?
It's going to be 2d6 plus your dex for the crit damage.
So that's those are good rolls too. So that's 11 plus 3, so that's 14.
All right, so he takes that, and now go ahead and roll 12d6 for poison damage.
One moment. I think I should have that on d6. Give me a moment here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need a couple more. So here's 8 d6.
All D6.
It's a lot of 5s. 20, 25, 30, 36, 40, 44. Hang on. We're up to 44 so far. 4, 45, 46, 47, 51, 56.
Okay. So he catches it with his chest.
Good catch.
And he seems surprised more than anything. No, he has it's all in the reflexes look on him. And he looks up at you as he sees the poison spreading, and he says, I didn't expect that.
You tried to kill. I don't say that. I don't actually say that.
He says, purple warm poison's a bitch. And he falls over on his side with the black veins spreading through him, quite obviously dead.
Yeah.
And his hand crossbow clatters to the floor.
What's really funny is I was planning to, in a slightly less lethal manner, deal with that guy after we won. So that expedites that a little bit.
Bummer.
There's like a brief second where the stone guard and all the Darrow just like lower their shields and weapons for a second, just look down like they're not really sure what quite happened.
He tried to. I'm going to turn. Not with him. That was aimed at me. You caught
Obviously. No, you caught that.
That's right. I did.
All right.
Can I do like a charisma back off check at this point? After that,
I'll do this. I'll give them a morale check
okay,
when it reaches their turn.
okay, Ivan Falkenstein. Because yeah,
I don't blame you.
I had to. I'm actually getting a little low on key after all this. But I think that was.
It is your turn though.
Oh, it is my turn.
At least one good night's sleep this week.
So
Warm up again.
What's that?
It's gonna be warming back
I'm
up.
sorry. I'm booting here.
Yeah, enjoy.
I actively don't want to kill these people. The only person I wanted to kill, I did. Does the guy in front of me look injured at all? I'll go check on that.
I mean, you can tell just by looking at him that he is probably got quite a bit of fight left in him.
That's kind of what I figured. Yeah.
I mean, that punch that you did in him, like definitely, a couple, 4 or 5 more of those, and he's probably down. You're going to be fighting him for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. All right. Okay. I'm going to use my action to dodge instead of my key.
Okay.
And that's it, because I can't really move. So I'm just going to hold the line.
A full defensive stance. Got it. All right, Liam. Meanwhile, back downstairs.
All right. How far does her aura extend?
Let me check. Come on. The aura extends. It's not saying 30 feet.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and move up so I'm within prestidigitation range.
Okay.
I'm assuming you need a stealth roll.
Yeah, so I'll take either. Yeah, stealth roll will work fine, actually.
Well, fuck. I'm gonna take a cord roll on this.
Okay.
Wait, that's with a +10?
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
You still hear cord?
Today, the part of Cord will be played by the Lore Runner. Let's see, because my dice are legendary, right? Now let's see if he's actually there. Cord? Nah, he might not be. Give him a few seconds.
Oh,
There he is. Okay.
Oh, thank God. All right, so that's 23. That's much better.
Okay.
Third is like, yeah, but their vision is +45. So.
Yeah, they got
Helping.
like passive perception of 50 true sight.
Yeah, it's
Whoa!
just
You know.
that would be a really good guard. You got to admit.
That will be, yeah. There's like just one guy, like he
And he just
lifted
stands-
weights real hard and got true vision.
Yeah.
Heimdall,
No,
what?
they don't seem to. Thanks to the aura, they don't seem to really notice you. Again, their eyes kind of like almost just pass over where you are, where they normally would have seen you.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to cast prestidigitation and do the puddle of blood under the door.
Okay. You can make it like splat out, like it just happened, or are you just making it like appear? How is this happening?
I'm going to make it appear like it's spreading out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Suddenly or slowly, because that kind of changes things a bit. Like if it's seeping out, or if it just goes, like it just got splashed against the door, right?
the slower option because there's no commotion sound from behind them.
Okay. And as soon as you do that, and she will make a stealth roll to try and get past this as the two guards look down at this pool of blood that is spreading underneath the door. A little alarmed. Oh, she's got a good bonus. Okay, not too bad. So she does manage to slip past him, and you can see her disappear down the hall. Now, here's something. You're no longer in the aura anymore.
Yeah. Thanks, bitch. Hold on. I want to make a slight adjustment to my move. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. So if I move to here,
You've probably got about a round of distraction there, so you probably don't want to stick around.
right? Yeah. But I can't exactly, since I took an action to do the spell, I don't have the double move.
That's right.
Don't really have anything else I can do. Hopefully they're distracted long enough and I can move.
I will say this: I'm going to treat it like normal, illusion, distraction, etc. spells, which is basically they get an investigation check on it to determine whether or not it's like, oh, this is real blood, or this is just something that just appeared. We'll see what happens.
Raspberry jam.
It's jam.
Lone Star.
Exactly.
All right. Boris. Boris expected to do a little more killing, but he is not in the aura anymore. So he realizes this. He looks over at Taston and he just kind of backs off because you can see the guard actually is looking at him out of the corner of his eye once the aura moves away.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I hate to be a rules lawyer here, but these guys are invisible.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he doesn't know. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. He'll try it unassisted. We'll see how this goes. He's a rogue, right? It should be fine. Oh, actually, it's good to be a rogue sometimes. He manages to just on his own get well into the 20s. And it sneaks around to this corner. All right. And he looks over at Taston, and he looks around the corner and he makes a motion to you, Taston. My gun's jammed. My gun's jammed. No, yeah, he makes a motion to you they are advancing forward, and kind of gives you the come on song.
Okay.
And next up, it is Taston.
All right. I'm going to make the move as well.
All right. Please make a stealthy check. You do notice that aura of silence is no longer on you.
19.
Wow. These good rolls just keep on keeping up. Okay. So you manage to slip past the guards. This place feels really, really rotten. Just like those stones itself are radiating just malice. All right. Stealthing was the action, so unless you want to do anything outrageous here. You can see the blood over there. You can see Liam over there. It's kind of interesting seeing him in the aura when you're on the outside.
Mhm.
Like, you know he's over there, but it's almost like you had to look a few times for him. Like there's almost just some mental block keeping you from focusing on him.
So
but you
do I see the blood?
Yeah, there's some blood pooling underneath here.
Okay.
Underneath the door, the two Durgar guards are looking down at. Well, no, you don't see the guards. Sorry. You see blood
Okay.
pooling underneath the door.
Okay. Because I have an idea, but it's not going to be relevant to my next move. Plus, I think I'm just out of range to do it.
Okay.
I can use thaumaturgy to basically make a door fly open.
Oh, okay.
So I was going to make that particular door, blood door. We'll call it the blood door.
The blood door.
Fly
Yeah,
open.
Door of blood. Yeah, blood door. Those are always nice doors.
Ugh. See if I can draw them in there.
All right. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to wait till next turn?
I'm gonna wait till next turn because I'll do
Okay.
that and then try and run by while they're.
All right.
distracted.
Mark, the other stone guards are continuing to advance in this position. You see more coming around the corner. Those other ones. Actually, yeah, they're coming around there. And these will enlarge as they get close, growing to a large size, and demanding that the Darrow and the other Durgar move out of the way.
Like into the fire.
Yeah, like into the fire. They actually don't care if the Darrow burn. Like, it's up to them. All right, Liam. The Scion looks back at you. And she needs to make a decision. Does she leave you without the aura or wait for you? Yeah, I think she likes her chances with a little more backup, so she will ready in action.
Okay.
All right. Would you like to take an attack of Op, Mark, as this stone guard moves out of the way?
No.
No. Okay. So these Darrow will push through this door. 215. All right, he moves out of the way, obviously, for the enlarged ones to get over there. And it is your turn, Mark.
Okay, so I double move.
Okay.
Time to go.
Meep, meep.
So I can easily get to the big hall
Yes.
without even trying, honestly. Like, I've got more movement after this. I've got 3 more squares after this.
Yep. You
And
see
that's
that the
not
door
counting
is.
dashing.
Yeah, you see that door is open. You saw the stuff I described to everybody else.
Yeah.
You are not under that aura right now, though, so you are much more visible than everybody else.
Yep. And if I dash, that's gonna really mess up my stealth roll here.
Yeah.
So is this door open?
It is not.
I open this door.
Okay. You come into it's obviously what it looks like. It's wine and beer and stuff. Wine cellar.
Okay. So I still have 2 more things of movement. So there's one
Okay.
thing of movement.
Okay.
And I double move, so I can't do anything else. But essentially, I'm trying to grab some wine barrel, like L wine barrel.
Okay. Just want to please roll me a D100
Okay.
percentage.
Sure, I could do that. This is going to be wonderful. My dice are wonderful. Here we go. That is going to be a 48.
Okay, that is good for you. There are currently no servants in this room right now.
I thought you were going to say there are now 48 servants in this room.
They're just hiding here.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone over here. We've been hiding here for 2 years.
Okay, you know what? C'est la vie.
No judgment.
And that appears to be my actions, because I think I could. Give me 1 second to think about that if I want to do that.
Of course, you see another door over here as well.
Yeah. Wait. I'm not going to burn that yet. Although no, not yet. Although I am curious, can anyone tell me how long fly lasts?
I think it's an hour. Give me just a second.
Till you hit the ground.
The normal fly is 10 minutes.
Okay,
Like the
10
spell.
minutes. That is a decent chunk of time, but all right. So I'm done for now.
Okay. So you burst down to the wine cellar. All right, Liam, it's your move.
25, 30. And
Yep. You do see the mark of the Cuillin that you were looking for over there.
I'm
And
gonna
something- you-
I'm gonna go ahead and double move
okay.
and can't really take an action to listen at the door, but I'm
There are some other guards down there. Right by this particular area. But for some reason, they seem to be conspicuously absent from this one. Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me. So
Okay. You don't happen to read Dwarven, do you?
no.
Okay.
Just yell it down to me, and I'll translate it as you go.
Oh yeah, that'll
Yeah,
work.
there's Dwarven text written underneath the clan symbol in here, but so you can't read it.
Quarantine.
All right. Yes. So these two guards are looking at this blood stain. And they're bending down. They look like they're not really sure what's happening here. One of them, this may see you in action, Aston, opens up the door to look behind it and see what's going on.
Haha, my plan worked, I guess.
You hear another Dwarven voice say something, a questioning remark in Dwarven, and they start chatting for a few seconds about what's happening and pointing at the blood spill on the floor. They're obviously trying to figure out who did this. Did you spill wine? No. All right. Risk. He's going to take this opportunity to try and get past this. He's going to make his stealth check. Wow. He knocked it out of the park. Okay. All right. So he continues along there. Aston.
5, 10. So I want to do about half of my move to about here.
Okay.
Cast Thaumaturgy to cast a sound farther in the room.
Okay. What kind of
Motion.
sound are you making?
Just kind of like a like
Sounds of
somebody's been
pain.
stabbed. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check as you're going through here.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this will be unaided by the aura. This is outside the aura.
20, not natural.
Wow. Okay. So there is a fairly loud groaning sound that comes from inside there, and the two guards give a bit of a start, and you can see that they are definitely keen on figuring out what's going on. You hear someone else give like a little yelp out in here as well, the one that they were talking to down the hall, obviously not expecting whatever happened there to happen. And yeah, you hear a couple other people give gasps over here. Actually, I'm sorry, you don't even see the guards. I keep forgetting these are invisible to everybody except Liam. You hear some starts. That's about it. All right. Stone guards. Ugh. Why did they not make these places for large people?
These stairs aren't going to work so well.
So I can technically move down here, but it is considered squeezing. So I will have to dash in order to even just do this.
And that's exactly why I retreated, by the way, for those at home curious.
So you hear them, Mark, coming down the hall, stomp, 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 and they're shouting out the phrase of intrusion, we have intruders, everyone go back to your rooms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Scion. All right. So the aura comes off of you, Taston, as the Scion moves up.
Not good.
And she looks over at Liam, gives a bit of a nod, and opens up the door to here. And you see that there is, in this hallway, this little waiting area, there is another Dorgar who is standing there. It looks like he's just doing some casual cleaning. And he looks up with a bit of a start as the door opens, and you can tell that the Scion is obviously trying to get his attention, like she knows him. And she busts out what looks like some secret signs, does some gang signs, that kind of stuff. And he gives a look of understanding and nod, and then goes back to what he's doing. And that was her action. And she looks over at Liam and whispers, "We're in the clear. We just need to make it to the office over there and let the attendant know we've got the egg and give it to him. They're not really aware that we have this yet, so there'll be a little bit of explaining to do." Right,
Explaining to do.
Yep. Oh, good Lord. I hate it when you get all big. Oof. I can't even make it past these. All right. Cursed monk speed. All right, Mark, you are in this one. So you hear them stomping in the hallway downstairs. It sounded like they took them quite a while to even just get down the stairs. What would you like to do?
So I don't know how 5th edition works. Can I use part of a move, do an action, and then use the rest of my move?
Yes, you can.
I would like to
because
pick
I
up
literally
a
just did
barrel.
that.
Okay. I would like to pick up a wine barrel.
Okay, you pick up a wine barrel.
The Donkey Kong maneuver.
Yeah, you see where I'm going with this. Immediately.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about you're talking like a bottle or
Cask
a
thing.
cask.
Barrel.
A cask. Okay.
Barrel.
Okay. So you get a hollowable cask and
I rush out the open door
okay.
and I fling it down the hallway. 1, 2.
Okay, at them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope that the intention is for this to be filled with wine, obviously.
Oh my.
I want to make sure we're 100% on that.
Yes.
What do I need to roll?
It is an improvised ranged attack, so it is going to be a straight up dex.
Oh, thank goodness. That's going to be 21.
21. Okay. So it launches, and I'm assuming you're just trying to crash it on him.
Yeah. That's just...
Yep. It crashes on him and breaks apart, and there is some pretty nice wine that goes all over him on the floor.
All right. Is this door behind me open?
is.
You're dry cleaning. Oh.
It is. You hear one of them says, "That was the good wine. Now he's dead."
All right.
Again,
Here's
according to subsection 5, we can kill him if he just
Paragraph 13.
if he
Nothing of
desecrates the
wasted
wine.
wine.
Now we can torture him.
Oh no. So this
Keeps
is just
getting
a
worse.
straight stealth, right? Like I don't have any.
It is going to be a
anything
straight stealth against these folks.
All right. Now this is gonna be really tough because I already have really good stealth checks.
Don't
Let's see
you
if
have
I
a
can
cloak that
somehow
helps?
manage. It's gonna be a
Oh
25.
Every single eye turns to look at you. No,
Whoa. Well, I do, I'm kind of hoping they're going to be looking at the giant wine crash that just happened over there.
They're looking at that. They're also kind of looking in direction already since they were shouting. There's some people still trying to restrain. I mean, like there's been noises and shouts and explosions that have happened probably about every 10 seconds at this point from different
That's
locations.
fair. Yeah, no, this has been kind of rapid fire. I
So,
just realized I can actually
yeah.
go farther if I wanted to.
You can.
I'd have to burn a key at this point, but I could do it.
Mhm.
I don't see these guys, right?
No.
Cool. Okay.
Perfect.
Unaware of the danger.
Yeah.
Do I see these guys as I round the corner?
No, actually, those folks are invisible as well. Although you do see things being interacted with over here. So there's obviously an invisible creature that is manipulating things.
I thought you said since the one opened the door, he became visible.
I don't know if that breaks invisibility. I don't think it does.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me see though.
Isn't the act of aggression that
Yeah. No,
Yeah, okay.
that does not. That does not break it.
Okay.
But what's happening is that the door is being opened by an invisible force, and it doesn't take much wisdom, Mark, to realize what's happening there.
Yep. So since I don't have enough movement to finish tunneling through this corridor like I'd like to,
Mhm.
I'm gonna actually
was at this
pause here.
moment that he
I'm
knew.
gonna just kind of like
He
whoop.
fucked
Okay.
up.
Okay.
Or here, whichever. Honest question: which would be better to hide in?
Oh, over here for sure.
Okay, yeah. That's kind of what I figured. So
They're just going
we're-
to turn around and see you in the corner.
That's kind of what I
Right there.
figured. So we're gonna stop there. and be like,
Yeah, like
I have
Taston-
mastered the art of turning invisible by moving it
Taston
very
is
slowly.
literally writing on the fact that they are not turned around right now.
I can actually see
it won't
Taston, I'm
last?
pretty
Don't
sure.
worry.
All right, so that's me. That's what I got.
Okay.
I'm getting really low on key. If we actually fight something, I'm gonna be screwed.
All right, Liam.
Now we got this.
Oh.
I'll put the other door here just so he's
A
in there. He's not
few
a stone
moments
guard. He's
later.
just in there. Make him green.
Gonna slide up to next to the door and
Okay.
debating on a spell here. mm, At this point, I am going to cast Mage Hand,
Okay.
and I'm just going to. It's sitting behind me.
Yep. The Durgar looks at you curiously a lot while you do that and looks over to the Scion, who just gives a shrug. Then he goes back to what he was doing. All right. That's movement, now's action. Oh, Boris. He just keeps moving. He makes it in here and he seems very pleased that they've made it in here. All right. Taston. So, not that you can see what's happening with these two, but the door is being opened, but nobody's said anything. So, presumably, you're in the clear at the moment.
Okay,
what would you like to
move
do?
on.
Yeah. Okay.
It's me there. I'm gonna double move since I'm assuming I can tell that everybody's gone into here.
Yeah, you see them going around the corner.
Okay.
Plus, there's the rune or the clan symbol.
On the outside of the door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You would at least have recognized that.
Cool.
Oh, and you bisect the sign with your sword? That's rude.
Kia! Oh.
All right. It's this feeling is getting worse.
Okay.
Hang on, real quick. I'm sorry. I actually meant to ask this on my turn. I apologize. Am I picking up anything on my demon senses?
It doesn't feel. I mean, yes and no. Like it doesn't. This place feels like there's been demons here for sure.
But I'm not getting anywhere near what he's getting.
No,
Interesting. Okay.
because this one's a little more divine and religious than anything else.
So,
But
now that
you
we're kind of
definitely it smells bad here. It smells like demons a little bit.
So now that we're quote in a little bit more in the clear, I'm going to ask Dogbringer, do you know what's going on? Something feels wrong, like colossally wrong.
Deep corruption is here.
Yeah,
This
can you
place
be a
is
little?
desecrated.
No, okay, you say that about everywhere we go. So how about like a specific? Do you have a?
She'll use her action to do a detection. Oh, it says there is a growing well of demonic energy at the center of this place. I can smell it. I can sense it. It is growing ever stronger. It is concentrated.
Okay, we're probably gonna have to take care of that, aren't we?
And it is, and she pauses for a second and then says, it is emitting something too. It is spreading. It is a source.
And it's feeling like the source, while increasing, is somewhere over in this vicinity.
Yes, the entire council must be corrupted. We must slay them.
Wow. Okay, this went from deposing one person to mowing them all down. All right.
Yeah. Dawnbringer in her infinite wisdom says.
Yeah. We're taking the 40k approach. Burn the
Yeah.
heretic. Got it.
That's right. All right. Oh, sad trombone sounds. They bust in through the doors over here. Well, and Mark, you kind of hear them and see them just around the corner, bust through, and they start shouting around. At this point, like the crowd, as soon as two enlarged Durgar just muscle their way through the doors and start shouting to look for the what would they even call? How are you dressed, Mark? Like if somebody was going to describe you after fighting you, what would they say?
I mean, I described it at the beginning. I'm kind of in the Obi-Wan outfit,
Yeah.
right? From A New Hope. Excuse
Yeah.
me. And I what I'm wondering is if I wore anything separate for this particular mission. Like we had the option to grab cloaks, right?
That's right, you do. So you've got some stealthy stuff on. Actually, were you the one who took that cloak of Elvenkind?
I'm not sure. I don't
This
think
one right here?
so. Looking at my loot. No, I didn't take that. Who took that?
Really?
Because I already had stealth. I took the ring. And
Actually, do you have something called like a wafu?
No. Who took that?
Thought it was either you or Cadiz.
I didn't take the cloak because it was there was something like it would break down with the light. That's why I didn't take it.
Yes.
Oh,
Because Dawnbringer
yeah.
would be diametrically opposed to it and it would break it down. So I think
Mhm.
Mark, you took it.
I mean, yeah, I'll
that
say that I
reason.
took it. That's fine.
Because we did.
honestly
I remember
thought
the
we gave it
discussion
to-
about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I have the cloak of Elvenkind.
I guess the question is, were you using it or were you not?
No, I'm actually not sure what that does in 5th edition.
It is advantage on stealth checks and a couple other things.
I am absolutely wearing this for this infiltration mission.
Okay. So let's see. Actually, it's even better. So when you have it up, perception checks made to see you have disadvantage, and stealth checks made to hide have advantage. So it's double good.
Yeah. So they would probably they would probably describe me as a completely generic, nondescript monk in some kind not monk, sorry, dwarf. In plain cloths. I wasn't actually wearing, full robes. Obviously, I had the cloak on, so they would see the cloak. But what they would describe the cloak as, well, that's a little bit more debatable.
Well, so the thing is, the reason I ask is because they know what Drow wafu are.
Listen, it's fine.
So they are yelling about a Drow infiltrator.
Oh, okay. No, that tracks. That tracks.
Maybe a very short one, but
I was just gonna say.
I figured that Mark has been moving so fast, it's very, very hard to even get a glimpse of him, especially with the Obi-Wan get up going. So if someone's flying flag of your enemy, that's immediately where you're going to go to. All right. So that was them, the Scion. All right. So she seems super relieved that we're finally here. She goes over and opens up the door. And there is a fairly regal looking Duragar sitting at the desk writing a note or something on the desk. And as she opens the door, he doesn't look up until she gathers his attention, in which he very quickly puts away his stuff, like he doesn't want her to see what he's writing down. And she plops the bag down on the table, pulls it open as he looks on in interest, and the dragon egg emerges from it as his eyes grow wide, and she starts explaining. Starts telling him about how there's really no time to go into detail, but this is the replacement for the dragon, the red dragon, and this needs to be taken to, what's his name? Edric immediately. All right. And that's about as much as you can get out in that brief round. All right. Stairs, they're pretty much done for right now. All right, Mark.
First and most obvious question: are they still? I don't know.
Well, you've seen the door open, and you see like footprints appear in this and go into the room, and you hear dwarven voices talking in there.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just roll my stealth just to see how badly this goes. Oh, thank God. Wait, I actually have advantage, don't I?
That's right.
I mean, that's a good roll, but I'm going to go for even higher. Oh yeah, there we go. 18. So that's 24.
24. All right. I think it's almost as good as just having that stealth roll up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going along and you're just completely blending into the stone as you go through here.
40. So this is my standard movement right there.
Okay.
I can't see these guys, of course.
That's right.
I do know where I'm going, though.
Yes. You do see the symbol on there. And actually, you can read Dwarven, of course. So you
Hey,
know
what's
what
it
it
say?
says. It says Demon Sanctuary. No, it does not say that.
I knew it.
it.
I go in with a fork and spoon, just ready to go.
Yep.
No, it actually says Black Skull Clan.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use basically my action to go ahead and double move at this point. I'm allowed to do that, right? Because, yeah, I'm probably going to get seen because I can't imagine they won't see me. Hang on. How far is it? That's
So here's
30
the thing.
feet.
With that cloak, it's actually going to be. I mean, you've seen the Lord of the Rings where they're literally right next to you.
Yeah. And
you can't
they
see them.
yeah.
That's what that is.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go for it anyways, which puts me right inside. That's the double move right there. Excuse me, Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker, stop trying to kill me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So just as a heads up, with that stealth roll and with that cloak's effect, their passive perception to see you is 5. So they actually can almost be looking like straight down there and not seeing as long as they're stealthy.
That is nuts. Okay, so that I get in here, I see the vents that are happening, and I'm like, and I'm gonna go ahead and quietly. There's a lot of big guys behind me. We might be on a bit of a time deadline here.
Something smells really bad in here.
In here?
Yeah.
So hang on, can I walk that back?
Sure.
So like, there's a bunch of big.
Like you've got that, and this is your passive perception picking it up. There is something afoul in here.
I actually turned to Tazden like,
I don't. There's something demonic. There's a force that I can't quite.
Can I know this is
Center
basically me being greedy. Can I get a flavor test?
A flavor test.
Yeah, what?
Sure.
Because
Kind
we've
of like
done
a
this
mango
before.
salsa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like mango
Mango
salsa,
salsa.
but no, like we have done this before. I've gotten a
Yes.
flavor of several demon lords specifically at this point. So at the very least, I'd like to know if it's one of the ones I've already tasted at this point.
You may make a perception check and add your appropriate demon hunter bonuses for that.
Oh, thank goodness. That's going to be a nice big roll. 17 on the dice.
Okay.
So that's going to be plus, so that's 20. And then for this, it's just advantage.
Yep.
So I could actually go for even more if I wanted to, which I didn't get. So that's 20.
All right. This one you have not sensed before ever. It smells like, it just seems like you ever smelled something that somebody put on way too much perfume or
Oh no.
flavor to cover up just a massive smell underneath?
Yep.
It's like that, except with demonic energy. Somebody, if you didn't know any better, would be trying to put out like a good, a positive, a loving aura.
Yeah.
But underneath, there's just rot.
Can I? Well, okay. I'm getting extremely greedy at this point, but I'm going to try and be like, I'm going to finish my warning. Big guys are coming. I'm going to turn to Taston and be like, I'm trying to think how I would explain this in character. That's new to me, but it's trying not to be demonic. Do you know anything about that? Do you have any knowledge, religion that you could roll to divine that? Like it's clearly demonic, but it's trying really hard. It's just Axe, right? It's just Axe body spray all over the place.
And what's the Forgotten Realms equivalent of Axe body spray?
No, it's literally
It's still Axe body spray.
Oh, right. Okay. Different kind of axe. Well played.
Okay. Cadiz. So
Yeah.
picture this.
hmm
Memorial Day weekend, SCA event,
Oh no, I don't like where this is going already.
no shower.
Right, it's the third or fourth day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. And you're covering that with Axe.
Oh. Yep. Set it on fire.
All right. I'll say that's the end of Bark's turn.
Yeah, I
Unless
think
you
I've
have a
gotten-
bonus action you want to take.
I technically could, but honestly, at this point, I'm just kind of, and I'm kind of put the ball in Caston's court on that one.
All right, Liam, it is your turn.
I'm just going to step inside so I can basically observe the conversation that's about to occur.
Okay. Yeah, the Duragar attendant's eyes are just widening as the Scion continues to explain what this is. And even as in the middle of her explaining, he's like wrapping his arms around it, getting ready to like grab it and likely take it wherever it needs to go. Are there anything else except for just listening?
I don't have any indication of this demonic presence, do I?
No, you don't.
Okay.
You probably heard me mention something to
Yeah.
Taston just now. I was pretty open about that. I was not stealthing that conversation.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That was there's someone coming. What is that smell?
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I detect anything?
Sure. You may make an Arcana check. Just glance around the room, around the people to see if there's anything that sticks out.
Yeah. Ooh, 18 plus 7, what, 25?
25. Okay. So there is so first of all, you don't think that anyone who inhabits here, this particular person, is like a spellcaster of any sort. There's no arcane stuff among them. There is one thing you do recognize as magic. On this person's desk, you see a sending stone on their desk, and you're like, ah, I know what that is. That is a magic item. It is used to cast sending, and it is linked up to another sending stone.
Okay.
So this, not uncommon, but there would be someone on the other end of the line there. Actually, it looks like an ordinary paperweight, but you can see the various designs on them on it is actually like magic runes that enable this to work as a sending stone.
Is it currently active?
No, with sending stones with that roll, they have to like be physically touching it, and it's pretty obvious when it is being used.
Okay.
So actually, what was your total roll?
25.
25. I will tell you this. You can tell this was not made by dwarves, Duragar, anyone like that. This has doesn't look drow, doesn't even, it looks like there's like elemental language on it. Elemental design in these runes.
Okay.
Could you do me a favor, check Discord just super quick?
Sure.
I really can't think of anything else that I can do to help.
We'll see if you find out at the end of the session.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, generally, actions to look around the room and stuff is generally that. So unless you got a bonus action,
Yeah.
you've identified a magic item in the room, but everything else seems pretty mundane. All right.
I mean,
And it
I
is-
do still have my mage hand. I'm
Yes,
just
yep.
mentioning that, but yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. All right. Horace makes it in. He goes in there. He seems like he's seen some of these people for the first time too. He goes into the room and he starts looking through some of the other doors, like he's just trying to secure the area and make sure that nobody's in the other rooms. So he's walking here, looking around. Tested. Dawnbringer's
Okay.
just vibrating in your hand, like I want to kill something.
Okay, well, I'll join in the main office. And I'm going to ask Dawnbreaker, can you guide me towards the most evil presence?
It's gonna be the guy. The guy who's currently trying to grab the dragon egg.
She says you're moving away from it. But
Hey, same team.
no, that's not what I meant. She says the most evil presence is at the center of this facility.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Using a compass here. Show me the evil.
Hold up. If you
I'm
don't mind-
picturing a dowsing rod.
Yeah, exactly.
just kind of.
Yeah.
When she says the middle, if you don't mind my asking, does she mean over here?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
It seems almost like, now that these are you're both kind of bounced off each other, you're almost detecting different things.
Like two separate evil presences.
Yeah.
Okay.
One that's a little more overt and one that's a little more covert.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'll try and see if I can do a religion check on the new one of the two.
Oh, sure.
3. Okay. 17.
17. Okay. So religious wise, you see a couple of the just looking around, you see a couple of the Durgar deities being mentioned in some of the statuettes and art around here. Not a big surprise. The statuettes, even of the dwarven deities, do strike you as kind of weird, like they're not constructed particularly right. Like the artist messed them up. Like
Okay.
gave them features that you don't recognize as being on.
Like in a Cthulhu way?
No. More like
this one has extra eyes and tentacle. Yeah.
no. More like, well, I don't recall this deity being described like this in this pose. Like it's very weird. It's like it looks very out of place. You may expect to see this in like a more rundown shop, but this looks really out of place in the premier Deep King's hold. Like somebody who was kind of amateurish or didn't know what they were doing made them.
Okay. I walk over and pick one up.
Okay. You know what? Go ahead and just make an investigation check while you're looking at this.
Okay.
Involve shatter again. Just blow everything up.
I'm just saying that might not be a bad idea. Given what's going on right now.
18.
18. Okay. I think this is also going to answer Laura's question as well.
Oh God.
The thing that you see that is off with this dwarven deity is that someone has given him an extra finger.
Is it the middle finger?
It is. I mean, it could be middle finger, but you look at it and you're like, this is why it looks so weird. Somebody has like not made this entirely correctly, and they've given him an extra finger. And
He should get a roll on that, right?
Well, no, like this clicks with your
Is
religion.
that-
You realize what this is a symbol of. This is a symbol of a demon lord. 6-fingered fiend Gratz. Somebody
Sounds
has
like a kung fu move.
well, he probably knows a lot of kung fu, but not kung fu you'd like.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a little bit about Gratz, since you have looks like identified something that someone has defaced in his image. Gratz is the lord of pleasure and limitless indulgence, the ultimate hedonist. He incites lust and uncontrollable urges in both his cultists and his enemies. His unusual characteristic is that he is actually a very intelligent, plotting, and scheming demon lord. Religious rumors has it is that he used to be a devil and was transformed into a demon, which explains his personality, but who knows? Very, very, out of all the demon lords, probably the most attractive for occultists that are, a little more on the sane side. His cultist, attract a lot of the people you'd expect it to, hedonist, people who are lustful, things like that. He is known as a very, not generous, but he promises a lot of stuff to his followers, delights, ecstasies in return for like total subservience to him. And his cults attract followers by circulating like poems, tracks, works of art that depict like encounters with him. It's one of those ones, in your training you would have been taught to look out for, because it is, he's very insidious. It is very, very easy to, get into this demon cult compared to a lot of the other ones where they're just bonkers.
Okay.
But that's what you know off the top of your head for this particular demon lord.
Wait. Did you mention the Demogorgon thing?
What Demogorgon thing?
So there's actually another war in the abyss between 3 of the big demons, and Grast and Demogorgon are the two big ones. I forget the other one.
That's not the Blood War?
No, not the Blood War, because the Blood War is demons versus devils.
Oh, that's true.
So there's a sub war between.
I mean, in general, demons war against each other a lot.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
sure
like
which
this
particular
was
one.
there's a whole book about this, and I'm actually trying to look it up right now
Oh.
because I was trying to
There's
remember
like
what
a
that's
big
from.
3.
Orcus is the other one. There it is. Demogorgon, Orcus, and Gratz. And apparently the 3 have been fighting forever. This rivals the Blood War, cost them unthinkable resources that can be put to use in battles against the Bajazoo. He covets Demogorgon's titles as the Prince of Demons above all else, and throws army after army after his most hated enemy in hopes of claiming it. I don't know if that's relevant. Sorry, I don't mean to jump in here. I just thought with Demogorgon actually wandering around, that might actually be relevant. That's the only reason I even brought it up.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely relevant. So they particularly don't enjoy each other's company, but they seem to be a little bit mixed in what's going on here. So there you go.
Okay, so what I'm going to do with that information is I'm going to take the statue and toss it to the guy behind the desk before he can pick up the bag, and I'm going to reach over and pick up the bag.
Oh, okay.
I like how we've technically had 2 people betray us in this one session. By the way, did you catch that?
Just wait, there's more.
Oh God!
This is
Yeah,
this
I'm
is,
the betrayer. I didn't
fighting
know.
Scions, by the way.
everybody wants their hands and everything right now. The surprise is that Liam's going to betray everybody.
Spoiler.
No, it's actually no. We get to another, we actually get to the throne room eventually, and it's Ront.
Oh my God, that would make so
That
much
would be
sense.
glorious.
It would. He's just there and he's
Welcome,
like,
little shaman.
you always move deep into the
I'm the
plot."
shaman now.
That'd be almost too cliche.
Oh, that'd be great.
No. Okay, so he makes a dexterity save and he catches it because he seems like he doesn't want this to break. So he releases his hold on the egg in the bag when he does that. And you move the scoop it up, Destin. Okay. So I think that is your turn then, because that's a lot of actions. These guys they matter a little bit. They are searching. Because as far as I know, people just disappeared. Ooh, okay. All right, and of course you hear them down the hall, just shouting and searching. All right. The Scion looks over at you curiously, Taston, and she asks, is there a reason you're throwing things? We kind of need to get going. You can carry the egg if you want, but need to go. Are we to bring this to the Council of Lords? And the Duergar, who is surprisingly just still settling the statue and trying to place it down on the desk, just nods at her and says, yes, I will be able to get everyone in if you follow me.
I asked the Scionist, how well do we know this individual?
Who? Are you
guy behind the
indicating to?
Yeah, the guy behind the desk. I know he's the guy we're supposed to see,
Yes.
How betrayally is he?
How betrayally.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how screwed are we?
Well, she looks over at him curiously and she makes a check. And
I mean, you're a Scion. Read his mind.
that's not how this works. At least not how
Use
she
the
works.
force.
Look, okay, I've got Jump and Hunter's Mark. What do you want me to use?
Hunter's Mark. Top to
Hunter's Mark
bottom.
actually is pretty good, but I can't use it at the same time as a Silensaurus, so I'm not going to use that.
That's fair.
Unfortunately, most of the stuff, aside from Jump, I guess, requires concentration. Well, I think I blew that roll. So you can tell that she is giving him a look.
Wait, we
not-
can call for a cord roll in there, couldn't we?
You can.
Cord. Give us a success. I'm just saying, this feels like an important roll. I feel like that's right. It could confirm.
I'm not opposed
not-
to this.
Yeah, sorry, I'm asking the party members. Yeah.
No, that sounds legit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's 13 on the dice.
Save your roll. This is an opposed roll against everybody.
Okay.
This is not a helpful roll. She failed the deception check. You can tell she is giving him a look like the jig is up.
This is my shocked face. This is
Yes.
my I still have some key and most of my HP face is what this is.
And the sad part is that Dara would have been on your side here.
Are you kidding me? He tried to kill
He
me.
tries to kill everybody, but he's not
But
on
he
their side.
actively tried to hit me for what would have been 48 is what I rolled.
He's just having a little bit of fun.
He tried to
Fun.
hit me for 48.
He's crazy.
Well,
Yeah, well, he's dead.
He is dead.
also true.
Although there is still a batch of purple worm poison back here.
Oh my god. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Can I retcon that I grabbed that as I was going by?
No. It is completely in character that you just blew past her because you were running away.
It
from
is,
guards.
yeah. No, I was
Time to
piecing
go,
out.
yeah.
That makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. All right. So whose action is it right now to kill her?
So it's her turn.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna
She
ready
can
an
kill
action.
herself.
I'm ready for the reaction. I'm ready. Let's do it.
But
Let's
this other Mark, it is your turn.
A lunge right for the throat.
Okay.
I'm not even hesitating. I am done with this crap.
So just
Just nope.
throat shot.
Who are you attacking?
Yeah, no, I could easily reach her. Pardon me, Taston. just a barrel roll right by you, right after her.
A flying dwarf goes past.
Because let's be honest, she's probably the greater threat than Mr. Frickin' Demon Lord Worshiper over there. Watch this actually go a lot
Until he
like that.
transforms.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just wait. That's where
This
we're
is
gonna
not his
go.
final form.
They've got a plants things that eat people thing. It'll be great. All right, so now that I know any of that in character, all right, so I'm going full tilt on her. Just coming out swinging.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay, so my first hit's a 20.
A crit? 20?
Yeah.
Well,
So-
that definitely hits.
Yeah, let's roll the damage on that first. Hang on. So that's gonna be, it's not gonna be great. Oh, I rolled a 5, so that's 9, regardless of the crit. I forget how you do crits, but it's 9.
Yeah, it's you double the dice, basically.
Double the dice, so 9 plus 5, which is 14.
14. Okay.
In the face.
She takes it. She looks like she almost goes down after that.
I'm sorry, I should clarify, I am still stunning. I don't want to kill her.
Okay.
That's-
You're taking the Batman approach. You're going to put her into like the ICU.
I'm gonna put her into the IC unit, but she's gonna still be
But she's
breathing,
gonna
and it
live.
counts. It counts. So my second
I mean,
roll
technically,
is
I could heal her,
what
so
is
you
that?
could beat her up again. I guess.
22. To hit. All my crap dice are coming back on me here. This is great. So unfortunately that's not a crit, but that is still going to be 10 damage.
Okay. She goes down, unconscious, but goes down. It looks
Okay.
like she's about to say something, but then
Nope.
she's done.
Nope.
The attendant
okay.
looks very surprised, clutching the statue to his chest.
Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to do what I want to do, which is the attack move thing. I have plenty of move to reach him, so I'm going to do that.
Mhm.
I guess I could attack him.
Will the
couldn't I?
punchings
Good
continue until morale improves?
Yes, there's going to be more punchings. I'm really torn on punching this guy. I'm going to not punch him. I have to blow a key to do that.
Okay.
But I'm going to, I'm basically here being very menacing. In case anyone else wants to do any intimidate rolls, I'm basically giving you advantage here. I just rolled into the room, whap, whap, and then rolled right up to him. And I'm just sitting here with my I'm like this. This is just how I'm standing over him.
All right, Liam.
This is the greeting of my people.
So I'm going to move around to the other side.
I cast Shatter.
Oh God!
It'll break the statue.
Tempting.
It'll
So
break the
tempting.
statue.
No. As tempting as that is, no. I'm a. Thank you, Bregwin. I recommend you sit down and don't call out for help.
Get rid of that stupid statue.
All right. That make an intimidation check with advantage.
Like, I think Tassin and I are both on the same page when it comes to that stupid statue.
I got a 5 and a 15.
Oof.
Let's see. What's my bonus on that? Intimidation +4, so 19.
19. All right. He looks shaken. You can tell he really, really does not want any of this. He's like, okay, I'll sit down. I'll sit down, please. All right. Any Mage Hand is still just in there going, any bonus actions or anything else you want to do?
My mage hand is going to pick up the sending stone.
Okay.
And it's going to put it in my pocket.
Okay. I like it. He's like, that cost a lot. I guess I would not expect anything else from the Grey Ghost. But, okay. Well, in that case, it is Boris's turn. He comes over here, he looks through, and he says, "Oh, well, this took a turn for the unexpected while I was out of the room. What's going on here?
Were you in on this?
In on what?
Is he lying? Is he obfuscating?
Make an insight check.
People other than me should make that. I believe him. He's totally legit.
Oh.
Is he legit to you as well, Liam?
I have never met a more honest person.
He's so my brother from another
16.
mother. Okay, thank
16. 16. Yeah, I mean, and this is kind of the sense everybody gets. Like, you can tell he's at the same time a little bit confused, at the same time a little bit not surprised, and at the same time a little bit doesn't care.
So he's the 9-to-5er, is what I'm hearing.
Kind of, yeah. It is just the dude, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
He's like, I just want to live, and that is all I want to do. Which side are you on now? Which side am I on now? It doesn't matter.
I mean, we're the side with the guns. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
And the
I
money.
got big guns too, and he flexes a little bit.
Yeah. We get into a flex off. The guards catch us
God.
while we're flexing.
Yeah, hours
Okay.
later.
I just start sorting money on the table.
All right, test him.
So
He
yeah,
says,
I
"Kill
asked him, what was the plan?
who are you asking? The attendant?
I'm asking the guy.
The guy who's got a fist over his face
Yeah.
right about now.
Like, what was the plan? Were you going to overthrow the council and then install your particular demon lord?
And
I
saw
say
any
the name
demon lord.
of the demon lord. It was what was the name of the demon? Crast.
Grazt. I'm not
Grast.
actually sure how it's pronounced, but
There's also an apostrophe in there.
of course there is.
Of course there is.
It's like congratulating someone for leveling Scrats. No, he says, half of this is right. This was to go to my lord, and we would hopefully take the throne. But no demon lords. No, we are very against demon lords here in Drakelstorm. Why do you say this?
You know what that statue is, right?
He names the dwarven deity. He says, "Yes, it is the father of smithing."
I turned to Tasdin.
With how many fingers again?
He looks at it for a second and he says, "Oh, one too many, I guess."
This is, and Mike, I look at him like he's lost his damn mind. This is the sign of Grast, is it not?
When do you know this? Let's see.
Is he lying or is he just actually?
Is he a dupe, or do I need to stab him?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
really what this comes down to.
Do we need to do another round of insight here?
I mean, you can make an insight check if you would like. He says, I really look when they were doing the demon education for us to identify signs of demons. I admit I did not pay attention. Captain Black Skull is the expert at this, not me.
So I believe this. This is my brother right here. I go embrace him in a warm hug. I turn my
Yeah,
back
I rolled
to
a
him.
12. I don't think I'm getting what I need out of that one.
I rolled a 1 on the dice.
Okay, so you clearly believe him.
This man is my brother.
Right.
I will follow you. Please save us from this, Liam.
Yeah, so 16 on the dice, so 19.
Thank God.
Okay, there we go. That's better.
There's always one of us that succeeds.
Right.
The other two are like, yeah, we check.
Like, that checks out.
No.
Well, you don't get the sense that he's really trying to be deceptive. He seems like he's just kind of confused, but it seems to be a sudden shift in his demeanor. Like there was something that triggered, and then he's suddenly a little bit different in his personality.
Is this I just realized what I've been doing this whole time, or did something just kind of go bzzz to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll say with that roll, Liam, since you can go ahead and make an Arcana check, Liam.
21.
Okay. So this would not be visible without like a detect magic or identify or something like that. That is one of the signs of perhaps a compulsion or a charm or something of that sort, where for somebody to suddenly shift like that, but still have, no recollection or to be seemingly completely honest. So that is something that kind of trips in your mind when you're thinking about that.
I think our friend might have charmed him.
Do we have dispels?
Dawnbringer does once per day.
Oh no, you're right. I thought you meant the joking one, but yeah, no, you do actually have.
No, yeah. Dawnbringer has one joke per day. Okay?
Are
you ready? It's amazing.
Yes, actually, that specifically one of the things that restoration can do is an effect that has charmed or petrified the target, or a curse, or something like that.
I'm going to suggest we use that, especially since we have an unknown amount of time before guards start barreling down this corridor.
Right.
And we kind of want someone who's legal and legitimate on our side in this particular conversation that's about to happen. So that's my thought.
Yeah. Okay. So, Dawnbringer, can you cleanse him?
I can cleanse any soul.
No, cleanse, not the other thing.
Sorry. Let me be specific. Can you help clean him without stabbing him?
Oh, you wish me to clean to remove the corruption from him without?
Yes.
Without. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I can do this.
Very specific. Got to be real specific.
Okay. So you've seen this before, where Dawnbringer unforms into several light tendrils and wraps around the Duragar, who seems like he is just stricken in absolute terror at what's going on. Like, what are you doing? Stop! I don't like this.
If I have to restrain him, I will, because I'm right next to him.
Yeah, you do kind of have to restrain him, because at this point he's like, I think they're trying to kill me or something.
Yeah, in my best pastor voice, I say, I'm gonna heal you.
The demons be gone.
Demons be gone.
Yes. Dawnbringer said, that's the spirit. And a greater restoration is cast on him. And you need to look at something real quick.
Let me see. It is immediately recast upon him, and he is possessed in 5 seconds later.
Yeah, that would suck.
Well, that's not fun.
That would suck. Because there are things that can do that, and
the effect on it ends. Yep. Okay. So he, you can see some energy disperse from him as this happens, and Dawnbringer retracts the light tendrils and reforms into the sword. Mark, you do get the sense that the general like taint of this place just kind of lifts a bit. It's still present, probably because this has happened a lot in this office. But it feels a lot better here now. Like somebody's opened a window.
In an underground
And he
room.
blinks for a second and he says, will you release me now? I do not know
I'm
what you
gonna
did.
get that freaking statue away from him.
Okay. I mean, that's a guy who doesn't want to keep it.
And I'm gonna lay it down and I'm saying, Dawnbreaker,
I mean, yeah.
smash it, smash that sucker.
Vroom. Oh, okay. As long as you let me live, you can smash all my things. I don't care.
I don't suppose there's any change.
I was gonna say, was that the
Statue.
only statue, or was
That's a
there...
good question. Yeah.
You find this thing like embedded in a lot of the different art. Yeah, you go around to his office, you're like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
there's a little bit.
Yeah,
of that
gotta
going
do
on
some
here.
spring cleaning.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Liam, could you explain to him, Mr. the only one of us who has charisma, what's going on here?
As I'm just destroying his office.
Yeah,
for fun.
that's what the two of us are just going around. I'm punching stuff. He's using his sword. You're
Sure.
the face here.
With my +1 charisma.
Yeah,
It's more than
Make a
I've got.
persuasion check.
this will be great. So, let me explain what's happening right now. So we're doing some cleaning.
I rolled an 11.
Oh, okay, not too bad. With it's the total.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
mm,
Let me double
Okay,
check.
We could pull a cord roll
Hold-
because we never pulled the earlier
could-
one off.
could-
Hold on. You did say
Yeah.
persuasion.
that's true.
Okay, so that's actually a 14.
Woohoo.
Oh, okay. That is definitely better.
Yeah.
And you're just basically trying to convince him that this is what was happening. You know,
Yeah, I'm
Please.
trying to convince him
no
that
BS.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on your side,
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
it appears that you were possessed or charmed when we came in. We appear to have broken the spell, and you appear to have returned to your normal self. We apologize for the interruption. My colleagues here, these items, they are emanating a demonic aura, and they are cleansing your rooms of their taint.
We're the cleaners.
We apologize for the damage.
In the
but
background, there's just flamethrower.
Yeah. We're sorry
As you're
for the damage.
slowly, calmly explaining this, just a gray goes off.
We'll send you the bill.
Damn it.
We came, we saw. No.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have my good pen.
So he looks like he calms a bit when it seems like he realizes you're not just here to like kill him or something like that.
Just look at the end of this, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
He crosses his eyes. No, but he calms down a bit, and you kind of get the sense that he probably is like kind of believing it, but kind of also just feels like if he plays along with this, he's not going to be hurt. But at the very least, you seem to have calmed him down a bit, and he's taking what you said into consideration. And he says, you are not the normal. You are not the normal squad who comes by for demonic cleansings. I must admit. Now that you mention it, a lot of weird things have been going on here. I just suppose I was not thinking about them until now. But please, I do not know if you're with the Grey Ghost or who you are with. Just
We're new
leave me
here.
in peace. I promise I will not report you if you just leave. I do not know what you wish to do with this egg. I assure you, it is. I know you know what a important item, politically important item, you have in your hands here.
I'm going to turn to the rest of the group here. Do we still want him to approach the Council of Lords?
I mean, I actually think that'd
I
be
mean,
a good idea.
Now that he's cleansed, that's
Yeah.
kind of that was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
thought process. I was like, okay, you're
now that
good
we're
now.
above board on this.
You can have the egg back to go do your thing, but then that leaves us with another problem with the psionicist in the corner that we helped to get to sleep. Like, because she seemed to be kind of in on it. So, or at least to some degree, we're going to have to clear that.
I mean, there's a lot of options there. I mean, we could snap her neck right now. We could wake her up and talk to her. We could implicate her in the. I'll put a cloak on her. I found the infiltrator.
Oh God.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm just saying, we got some options.
That's dark, but yeah. I mean, that would work for you, but it would look kind of bad, like for us being non-dwarven. Like, oh, we found the infiltrator. Wait a minute, a human and an orc.
Found it. Listen,
Or half orc.
We're good folk. Okay, he'll vouch for. He'll vouch for us, right? You're gonna vouch for us, right?
The problem,
I
though,
do not think it would do it any good.
as a psionicist, she can do things with her mind that we wouldn't know were
It's okay.
occurring,
She only has hunter's mark and jump. We're good.
that we know of.
Yeah, no. Yeah, in all honesty, okay, so leaving joking for a second, we really, I think we have two options with her. We can attempt to interrogate her, or we kill her while she's a non-issue. I would rather interrogate. That's why I did non-lethal. But
That would be my thought process, because if we kill her, that kind of like immediately ruins our credibility with the guy we just cleansed, and the other two party members outside become a problem now.
yeah,
I mean, granted, they're all part of the Grey Ghost, but still, it's like
I mean, the Grey Ghost might not have been in on this.
we then
whole Kratz thing,
we
so,
then make like two fights out of one fight.
yeah.
Okay, if we're gonna do that, I have an idea.
Does it involve fire?
No,
Of course, it
Does it involve shatter?
not initially.
Not yet. Not to start with.
I need a pair of earmuffs.
Okay.
Sir, do you have what's this guy's name? The guy we've kind of saved.
Oh, Grintu.
Grintooth. Hey, great. Listen, Grintooth. Do you have any-
Grintu. Grintu.
Grin- You have two grins? That's
Oh, God.
impressive, dude. Do you? I'm sorry, I'm spinning it. Do you have ear things we could borrow? Anything? anything
Not in
anything.
my office.
Do you have like rope? Do we have rope?
You can search the office if you like. He says no.
Do we? Does any of us have? I turn to Big Boris. Do you have some rope?
Yeah, I got rope. I got rope.
Do you mind if I borrow that real quick, please?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I tie two books around someone's ears, so they just got these two books here.
Okay.
Who am I doing this to?
Improvised.
The psionicist.
Okay, so her ears are now. Here we go.
Okay.
That's even easier. She's not struggling and wondering why I tie books to her head. With
Because
the rest of the rope, I'll probably.
I will
bind her
need those
hands
ledgers eventually.
and stuff. Don't worry, we'll get them back to you. By the way, I will bind her hands and the rest of her while I'm at it.
Okay. Okay.
Phase 1, get.
Yep.
Phase 2 involves.
Phase 2 involves shatter. He just said
Ah,
that.
No,
two.
no. That's phase 3. No, actually, that's
Ah.
phase 4.
I thought that was profit.
No, that's 5.
Okay.
Phase 2 is I cast prestidigitation on the books and create a super annoying like scream that's emanating from them.
That sounds like torture.
It's going to distract her from being able to cast any of her psionic abilities.
Torture usually does that.
Hang on.
Not wrong.
I pull off my hat and look at the skull on it.
Are you sure you don't work for Captain Blackstone?
Are we the baddies? Can someone just tell me?
This sounds very familiar.
I've been
This
in the
is not-
Underdark
this is
so
not-
long, I don't know anymore. Who's good, who's bad?
I haven't
this
even
new
seen the
surprise
sun in like
interrogation?
3 months.
Wait a minute. What color is your hat?
Well, hang on. It's black.
I cast prestidigitation on it and it turns white.
Oh, okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Oh, I feel so much better.
All right, yeah, let's wake her up. Sugar.
Okay. So she's
Okay.
You need to make a medicine check or healer if you want to wake her up.
That's on Taston.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. Mm. 18.
18. Okay. So you bring her to consciousness. You know this is not going to last forever, because she really needs rest in order to recover. And consciousness is still in consciousness. But
also there's this ringing noise in her ears.
yeah, she comes to. She's, is this hell?
No, it's the
She's
Jim
talking
Carrey
much
stream
louder
from
than
Dumb and
she
Dumber.
probably should be. Oh, it's the
God,
scream from Dumb and
no,
Dumber.
God, no,
Yeah.
no,
Want to hear the most annoying sound ever?
in the world.
no, because then we have to hear
Yes.
it too.
Yeah, but it's between these two books, so it's like in that
Oh,
resonant
that's-
stereo that you
You know,
get.
hang
like
on,
if it's just right.
This is cruel, and I'm going to take
Just-
the books off. That's horrible. Oh my God.
All right. No.
She looks up and she says, "You mountain mongrel." What's
I cast interrogate.
you cast
That's a
interrogate?
spell.
Yeah, I got one fist here and the other one here, and I cast interrogate on her.
So how are you going to interrogate her? She can't hear.
You know, I was actually wondering that question too, but I figured Liam had some other thing to make her like sign language, maybe, or just writing it out in the air with like magic. Can you do that?
Or you could just grab a notepad. We're in the cleric's.
Yeah.
Do you have a notepad I can borrow?
He says, "Yes."
And by borrow, I mean use. Sorry, I will be taking this notepad. But
Yeah, he
I'll
opens
give
up the
it
desk.
back.
He picks up like the letter he was just writing, looks at it curiously, and then puts it aside, and then picks up a huge stack of notebooks and just goes. Poof.
awesome, thank you. And I'm going to hand the notebook to Liam for interrogation. I'm going to hand the letter to Taston. What does that say? The one he was writing when we came in.
Okay. To say, unless it's written in common or abyssal.
Oh,
I
is
can't
it?
read
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a good
It
point.
is written in dwarf.
Okay.
Fine.
Nope, that's a hard no.
Hang on. Okay, what's it say?
It says, "Ha ha ha ha! This is explosive ruins." No, I was just kidding.
That would be legit.
Great.
We're
No,
all clustered, all in there too.
Prisoner's dead. He's dead. No, it is a official declaration from the king, asking for an individual who has been named as, what is his name?
Bob
It's not Bob.
Bartholomew.
That's it. Where is his name? Who?
That would have been awful, Tyrant. That just would have been. We've gone through all this stuff, and he just had that ready. He was just that prepared, right?
Yep.
Just
That was
in
funny.
case.
To be fair, Liam would have seen that with his Arcana check.
Fair.
Where is it? It names an individual.
Bob.
And it is an official request and contract for an assassination.
Do we recognize this name? Is the important part.
The individual that is named, no.
Do we? Does Boris recognize this name?
This is Boris.
That sounds like a no.
He does.
Oh.
He says, "Oh, they know this person. It is a gate guard.
That's
I bribe him sometimes."
The king is making a formal request for an assassination on one of his own gate guards.
It seems very weird to me, but you know.
I mean, demonic
not the
possession
weirdest
does
thing
some
today.
weird things too. Let's just be honest. This guy can tell you about it.
I mean, it is also very weird because this clan would not be making requests from the king like that anyway. I do not know why this person is writing it.
Also a good point. Anyways, what are we asking the scion with the?
I have no
Who
idea.
do you work for? Why are you working for the demon lord Grast?
That's the one.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, let's open with that.
Yeah.
Why are you working for the demon lord Grast? And we're just going to lay that out. Just
She-
right up there.
Definitely does not seem like she wants to answer anything, but if you would like to make an intimidation check or persuasion, it's up to you.
I
depending
mean,
on-
she is being
probably
tortured
intimidation
right
because you're
now.
doing this.
Yeah, she's currently in process of torture.
The screams will stop.
I
when you
shouldn't be
answer.
doing this. Sorry, Liam, you're the one writing it. So
Okay.
you have more charisma than me.
So I have the same bonus, and I am proficient in both intimidation and persuasion. So
You should probably have advantage on this too.
Eldgrim, that's the person that it names as the assassination guy they're contracting. Eldgrim.
do I have what is it? Words.
Advantage?
Yeah, that.
Because she's being tortured and we're assisting. I'm assisting.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Oh, nice. So that's a 23.
23. All right. This sound is so terrible. She wants it to stop so much. Has not heard anything like this in her life. It's like knives in her brain.
The actual,
It's like
what she's
nails
hearing
across
is,
the
this is the
chalkboard.
song that does
Oh, God, no.
She weeps. She says, "Please kill me now," but she cannot. She tries to use Sionis's powers, but there is nothing she can do to kill herself with that because she only knows Blade Ward, True Strike, Jump, and Hunter's Mark.
And she is a worthless scion, I'm going to tell you.
It's they came in useful when they came in useful, but in torture situations, not so much. And she starts gritting her teeth and saying a little too loudly because of the sounds what she knows. She sounds a little indoctrinated, and she talks about how the Lord Gratz is the proper ruler of this plane. I came to know this some months ago when he first bathed me in his majestic glory, and she gets a little too graphic in some areas when she's describing it. And Taston, this is right on course for what you know about these kind of cultists.
Like, okay, cliff notes. Come on, lady.
Yeah. She describes it in things we will not mention on Twitch stream.
Nope.
So
Negative.
but she seems to have either through willingly or through mental compulsion drank the Kool-Aid and starts telling you all about how Ratz will take over this place, will be the ruler of the Underdark, and then will go to the above world and rule it, will be the triumphant demon lord because he is smart, he is scheming, he will defeat Demogorgon, he will defeat everyone, he knows all of their plans, yada 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 yada. So basically she pretty much confirms that she is working for him, and then he has some sort of presence here, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is actually good to confirm. I'm assuming the guy behind the desk is paying at least some attention to this.
He is. He seems pretty taken aback at this. Although you notice that he almost seems to have moments where he's recalling something like in horror, like he's just realizing that he had some memories of things that she is talking about.
I don't know what you two did in what party and what back alley. I don't care. Okay. But yeah, can we stop the sound thing? I'm really not a fan of torture.
She talks about how the Grey Ghosts have been infiltrated through and through. They will defeat the Council of Savants. All sorts of chaos that they're going to cause.
Hang on. I'm sorry, I missed that. The Grey Ghosts are officially Gratz, or at least are the leadership.
She talked about how the Grey Ghosts might as well not even be around anymore. They're really no more the Grey Ghosts as they are under the leadership of the other various groups of the city. It's like the king, he's stupid. Captain Blackskull is stupid. She names a couple of lords. Let's see, who does she name? Who's stupid?
There's that one guy von Falkenstein. He's just the worst.
Yeah. Anviltho, really stupid. Clan Anviltho is so stupid. The Cold Hero is probably the worst ever. Firehand's okay. Firehand's okay.
Note to self,
Hammer
don't
Cane,
deal with
incredibly
Firehand.
stupid. Brackenworm. Ugh. She cannot wait until Brunor, the leader of that, just dies, the old blind fool. Just cannot wait. And it will happen. Once Grants comes, he will wipe the slate clean. And she will be leader of her clan. Once she is reinstated, of course.
Yeah. Can I knock her back out?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Do I have to roll? I mean, because she's at 0 HP technically.
No, a tap will put her back down, but probably for
There. Okay.
a while.
Yeah. I ping the middle of the bridge of her nose.
Mhm.
Just go down. Could you stop the noise, Liam, please? Thank you. I give the man his books back.
He looks at it and he says, I don't. He just puts them on the side of his desk. Like he's a little bit disgusted.
Yeah.
Okay, so she needs to be tied up and left somewhere in, I don't know, is there like a large clothes hamper bin thing or a leaf compost bin that we can put her in?
Boris says there's some chest in the other room. It will be very tight if you take the things out. I took some of that stuff out already, and he crinkles his
Perfect.
pockets.
Anything good?
Let's go with that.
You can keep it. I'm just curious if you got
He pulls
anything.
out a bunch of stuff that looks like knickknacks.
Okay.
Okay, we just need a place to stash her until this is all done, and then we can come back and deal with her. The short answer is I can only do greater restoration once a day with Dawnbringer, so we don't have the time to do a long rest, to reset that, to then fix her problem before we need to deal with the rest of the larger problem outside the door.
I do feel like we should go ahead with the Lord's Dragon thing. I still believe that's the concept here. I'm starting to think that once we stir up that hornet's nest, depending on how it goes, we might want to just get the hell out of Dodge. Like that
Like
should
out of
be
the
our
city, out of Dodge.
yeah. Like that should
Like
this should
finally,
this should be our current B plan.
our gateway
or A plan
out.
is just can we leave?
Yeah, we did the thing. Can we go now?
Quest complete.
Can somebody open the gate now? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's turn to. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Grindu or something like that.
I hand Grintu back the bag with the egg.
Yeah. Here. Let's do it.
Oh. I suppose okay. I'll go and give this to Tangus Ironhead. He will likely meet us out in the waiting room, and then I'm sure he will place us in their protection immediately as soon as he receives this.
Unless he's demon possessed.
I
hate to point that out, but it's an option.
All right.
I mean, I don't think
everybody
we have
who's
option.
not possessed, raise your hand. Why is no one raising their hands?
Well, no, you could.
Dawnbringer raises your hand momentarily.
Yeah.
Dawnbringer's like,
only one.
Yeah, I think commensuration of the plan is probably our best bet here.
Okay. Yeah.
We could chop it off there if you want to, since it's getting kind of late. Unless this is going to be like a super quick, you go in and they immediately attack you, kind of a deal.
Oh
no!
Roll initiative again.
Well, yeah, continue to roll initiative. They hate you even more than before. Turns out that guy you just helped free from demonic possession. Well, everyone else is possessed, and they know now that he's free. So
yeah. No, I think we can. I think we can go on for just a little bit if everybody has some time. Because I don't know what's going to happen next.
Oh, that's comforting.
That's not good.
All right, so we put her in a chest, tied up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's in there,
gagged.
That's a later problem.
I will rip off part of my robe if I have to, but we're making it right. That's important.
All right, and Grintu with the egg will motion for you to. He gets up pretty shakily. You can tell
he's had a big day.
He's had a big day out. So he's still.
I'm going to actually help him. Be sympathetic, you know. It's like,
okay.
Here, I got you.
And he opens the door and starts leading people out. It looks like, or it sounds like the place has cleared out down here. And there's now just guards roaming around. We'll get rid of them. As you are going down the hall, I'll just move everyone if that's okay. As you're going down the hall, you are almost immediately accosted by several Durgar who pop into existence, and Grintu immediately says, "This is official clan business. They are under my protection for now." And he does actually invoke some like rule.
Aha! I knew it.
And yeah,
that's the way we beat them.
Yeah, with legalese. And you can tell the guards really just want to make a mess out of everybody. Oh, he's going to stay back. He doesn't want to come. That dude is just like, And you have a complement of guards that are just following you as you make your way down. You pick up more like very, very quickly to the point where you have an escort, not escort, by the time you get down here. As they just pop into, and there's your enlarged guards over here. There's your ones over here. So they're all just waiting for whatever they can do to arrest you. You can just tell they're just itching to do that. But apparently, Grin2 is currently your protection for the moment. And you can see several of them just staring like wide-eyed at that dragon egg. Like you can tell some of them don't really realize what it is, and the other ones do. And they're even more confused as to what's going on. There's some whisperings among themselves. But Grin2 goes up to the guards and asks to interrupt the session that is currently taking place. The guards look at him like, "Are you sure? Okay." And they open the doors, and you can see into this large council chamber, which is currently in the middle of a heated debate. There are quite a few people in here. So now is where you learn that there are 19 clans that are represented in here.
Hey,
And they
Lore,
are all. I'm sorry?
I have a question for Lore.
Okay.
What spells did we imbue in your ring?
I have fly, and I got to look up the rest because that's the only one I've been remembering. Fly, mage hand, and comprehend languages.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, fly might help. I'm out. See you guys.
Power word kill.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm gone.
I wish we had planned ahead and replaced at least one of those spells, like Mage Hand, with Shatter. Oh no, that wouldn't work because there's a limited level.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a storage capacity.
Yeah. Anyway, regardless.
Yep. So you start filing in. The guards stop at the entrance. You can tell either by law or by some rule, or just because they know that the people in here can take care of themselves, they do not enter. And they close the doors behind you. And the council is currently talking about something. They almost don't even notice you coming because there is so in heated debate. You can see that there are the 19 council lords around here, which, unless you ask specifically about one, they're about as easy to describe as all the dwarves in The Hobbit. So
Perfect.
unless
There's
it becomes
that one,
relevant.
and then there's that other one.
Yeah. They all, to its credit, they all have distinct looks, personalities, and everything. We're just not going to go through all 19 right now. You see up at the top, large and imposing, almost standing on the throne, just because he is obviously already risen out of his seat in anger and agitation. The first time you've actually seen him in real life, the Deep King Orgar Steel Shadow V. He looks like he is ready to fight a fool. He is decked out in, you know what? I can actually just show you a picture of him. How about that?
Okay.
And he just pulls up a picture of the Lich King.
Yeah, that's right. It's actually the Lich King all along. It's always the Lich King. Just do this. How about this? See if this works. It does. There he is.
Okay.
So that is what he looks like. You can see resting on he's not that big. You can see resting on the side of his throne. He has a warhammer that even those of you who are not arcanely attuned can tell is obviously magical. It is beautifully crafted, has runes all in it that are just literally glowing and giving off dim light from it. He is accompanied by, and Liam, you would recognize instantly a royal consort to his side. You can tell that look and that posture when you see it. And then also to his other side, you can see another keeper of the flame. He seems to have a slightly different robe than the other one, maybe a little bit higher position, who knows. And they seem to both be on consulting sides of him. And they seem to be as agitated as he is, almost, as one of the Lards is speaking about how, I believe the demons are behind this uprising. It's not the drow. They're too cautious for one of these confrontations. And another one rings out, you see demons around every corner. One of them says, the drow are obviously the cause of it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And unless you just want to sit here, Gintu will proceed forward with the egg, and there will be a hush that falls over the crowd as it is brought in. You can tell that the keeper of the flame wishes he was in some other plane of reality at this point in time. He looks at the egg, and you can tell that he knows his life is probably forfeit. The king just rises up, and he looks like he is about ready to kill somebody when he sees this egg. And Grinto says, "Hear this. The keeper of the flame, the keepers of the flame, they have kept secrets from you. This is a gift from my clan, from the clan Ironhead. The egg that you thought,"
because I think we're allying with them.
Yeah. "The egg that you thought was safe, that you have been assured for months, has been hidden away, has been lost. And we, and he motions to the group, have recovered it. It has been out of the hands of the keepers of the flame." And Horgar looks over just in rage at the keeper of the flame beside him, who is almost on his knees, almost on his face, just bowing in front of him, apologizing. And he's just like, "My deep king, I assure you, I had no idea." And Horgar says, "You've put an axe in my back, Gartakar." And he picks up his warhammer, and he brings it down over his head and crushes his skull. There is everyone in the Council of Lords just rises to their feet and starts shouting various things. And even you feel it this time, Liam. There is just this pulse of rage and anger that starts to feed this place.
It's called a hate plague, for those of you who know.
This is definitely Taston, the center of that, well, for lack of a better term, this hate plague that has been coursing through this area. And it seems that this chaos, this anger is just starting to feed it more and more. Liam, you even feel it now. And of course, Mark, you just like feel it wholeheartedly here. And it's a little more distinct to you because it seems like it's several demon lords mixed in together now, both Demogorgon and Gratz, mostly Demogorgon.
Oh, great. I was actually going to ask, can I at least get like a bead on where this is emanating from? Usually this kind of thing, there's like a locus point or a ritual circle or an artifact or a person,
Make a perception check.
Oh, geez. I need this one. I need this one. All right.
We do have one chord roll left.
We do, but the dice is a 20.
Oh, nice.
Oof.
Okay.
So that's a 27, I think, with the
27.
with the devil thingy. Yep. Nope. So, oh no, it's just advantage. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. So that's merely a 23. I had advantage on that though.
So so you look around and you hone your senses. You're like, where is the source of this? Where really is this coming from?
I'll burn blindside if I have to. I don't.
Oh, do you want to?
Helps.
It's a bonus action.
I'm going to be real.
If you want to see stuff, yeah.
Does.
It gives you that. Gives you blind sight, so you can see invisible stuff. You can also see. Like demons if they're shapeshifted, things like that.
Okay, then yeah, that lasts an hour. I'm gonna go and burn it.
Okay. So, you see one shapeshifted demon in here.
Oh Christ!
The royal consort. There is a silhouette of a winged humanoid that is like interposed or overlaid over the dwarven the Duergar figure there. And you can tell that this madness just seems to be circling and coming from the king here, the deep king, as if he is just the one feeding it and it is attached to him. You are sure he is probably quite mad, although in some unique way, not just a normal plague of hatred.
Yeah.
And his consort seems to be a shape-shifted demon.
I'm asking my two mages here. Is there anything you guys have to expose a shapeshifter? Anything at all that would provoke that to not be shapeshifted? Can we hit them with a low light phaser beam? You know, just
I
something.
mean, Sacred Flame does radiant damage, but that would do radiant damage to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, since, and this is still happening in just a few seconds, if you want to make a religion check,
Yeah, let's do it.
and I think you get a bonus for this because of the Demon Hunter stuff, right?
Well, I rolled a 19, but yeah, this will
Okay.
also. So I actually get advantage again.
Yeah.
But I rolled a 19, so.
Okay. So you recognize the silhouette, the shape. This is a succubus.
Yeah, I figured that.
You know, they're, of course, they're pretty legendary for their abilities. Even some of the common folk know about these things. And they're stuff of legends. Shape changers, of course. You know that, and you think back, like, how do you actually reveal this? Like, what's the method for revealing them?
Bacon. Sorry.
Bacon, yeah, that's actually what it is. I know. You know, the only way you know of is either select spells that are meant to revert the shape of shape changers, or killing it. Otherwise, their shape changing is almost perfect. You do know a couple things about them as well with that roll. You know that it has the ability to charm people.
Which I've got a defense against.
Yep. You know, what was your total roll for it?
Give me a second. So that's gonna be that, which is that. That's gonna be a 21 total.
Okay, so you know quite a bit about them. Yeah, they're just masters of deception, of being spies. You do know that they are able to essentially have almost total control over their charmed individual, and it is almost a perfect charm, with the exception of they sometimes can break free of the charm if they're literally driven to kill themselves, but it's not a guarantee. You do also know that they can steal the life force of the people they have charmed, essentially instantly killing them and bringing their life force into themselves. You do also know that it is very, very hard to capture one, because they have the ability to move between planes.
Ooh. That's bad.
They are very, very, very hard to lock down if you even manage to reveal them. And those who have been charmed by them are not likely to believe you. I will give you this though, with a 20 plus, you do know that the limitation, one of the limitations of their charm is that they can only charm a specific person at a time.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm
Be
gonna
able to banish it.
lean back to the
That
two
should work.
and just point at her and just say the word succubus, and that's all I'm gonna say. Just nice and quiet.
Grin2 says, that's rather rude.
Into, I'm not joking. Like my demeanor has completely changed. I'm worried now.
Mhm.
This is bad.
With that,
You see,
with him saying that she's a succubus, would I know that she is casting a shape-shifting spell of some kind?
a shape-shifting spell of some kind. I mean, you're intelligent enough to know like the general lore about succubi,
Okay.
so you know they can do that.
Okay. What level spell would be a shape-shifting that a succubus would use?
They don't. It's not a spell.
Yeah, they just have the innate ability.
It's an innate ability.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking I might be able to do dispel magic, but
Oh, go ahead and make an Arcana check if you'd like.
okay. Ooh, 17. 24.
Okay. So you know of a few spells that can revert shape changers. The first one is called Moonbeam. It is, a second level spell, so fairly low. However, it's one of those ones that is primarily in the domain of certain clerics and druids. So, dispel magic, will not help, unfortunately. That polymorph doesn't work on these things because they're shape changers. Aside from that, there's not really a good way as far as spells goes to reveal them unless you have like certain clerics that can do that or certain paladins that can do it. It's generally Moonbeam or Specialist.
I don't suppose Dawnbringer can do anything about this. I'm guessing no.
Not that you know.
She does do radiant damage, which would be nice.
Yeah, just from your roll, radiant damage really has no bearing on whether or not it reveals itself.
No, yeah, but like it gets past their DR if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, they have. You rolled one up. I'll let you know. Their resistances are generally to anything that is cold, fire, lightning, poison, and non-magical weapons.
Jesus. Okay.
No, also they can fly, but I'm assuming you probably guessed that from the wings.
Yeah. So like while everyone's rabble rousing and saying peas and carrots over and over, in character, I'm gonna like pull the 3 in and be like, how do we want to play this? Like, what's our game plan?
I can try and banish her.
I mean, so okay, let me walk that back a step. When I say game plan, I mean we can make a go for her. We can make a go for the king, which probably is going to aggro. Sorry, in universe terms, that's probably going to make everyone around here want to kill us.
Well, the whole purpose of us bringing the egg here was to initiate a potential vote of no confidence.
Yeah, but
so if the entire council turns on him, the rage storm is kind of a sub issue right now. It's not to say it's not important, but
yeah,
we might have a better chance of like taking action and against the king and or the consort once we establish a better platform of power to work from.
Yeah, I think I get what you're going for, but we need someone with charisma in the party. I should just roll the bard to convince them to basically dogpile the king, and then we will fight with them against him. And then during the combat, we will have the opportunity to go against her, and hopefully either knocking out her, him, or both will kind of dissipate this crap before the rest of the lords turn on us.
So you can tell just from the arguing, there is definitely already shouts of the king to step down because he obviously has like no control of what's going on in the city.
Yeah.
It's about half and half, but you can tell that like it's real close to like an actual fight breaking out.
Guido, you were going to say something?
I turned to Grintu. Who's your clan leader?
He looks petrified like everything that's going on, but he nods over to I will actually describe this one.
Where is it in the list? Where's the group?
He is, let's see.
This guy.
This one right here.
It might be important given that what's probably about to go down.
He is, he says, Thangus Ironhead. And
I can't do it.
It's Ironhead.
There we go. Awesome.
Thangus Ironhead. And he points to this pretty old looking male Duragar. And he seems to be actually one of the more cool and collected ones amongst us. He's arguing, but he's not like foaming at the mouth or anything.
I'm going to bellow out. What did you say his name was? Thangus Iron what?
Thangus Ironhead. Sorry.
Ironhead. Okay. So I'm trying to speak above the din of everything that's going on. Thangus Ironhead. And I'm going to wave him over.
Just make me a straight up charisma persuasion check.
15.
15. Okay. Fortunately, one of the ones who's more patient amongst the group. He looks curiously over at you, but then he of course his eyes pass over the egg. And he's like, "This is probably important," and he goes by. You see him whisper something to a probably about as old female Duragar who seems to be much more agitated than him, who's currently berating the king, who's getting super angry. And he goes over and says, this is not the most opportune time, but you've caused quite a disturbance. Who am I to, the word is not think, but who am I speaking to that has caused this?
Who we are is unimportant. We wish to have the council do a vote of no confidence, and we wish to instill you as the new king.
He looks, he gets a grin on his face when you say that, and he says, "Well, that is quite straightforward.
I mean, we could
that,
lie
but-
and give like another 15 pages of flowery dialogue if you'd like. Or we can just get down to
Install
it.
king? Yes, no.
Yeah.
this bless I realize you," and he looks at you and he says, "You half orcs have impetus to do things immediately, but we have tradition here. This will die down very soon, and then it will be time for a proper vote. You cannot just start one here. There is paperwork to be done."
Please tell me someone is already punching someone else in the background while he's saying this.
Not quite yet. He seems to be
Getting there,
relatively nonplussed by what's going on here, like he's seen this before.
Okay.
And he says that we are very, very steeped in tradition. Everyone will fall in line soon. I am honored that you wish to install me on the throne, but and I will definitely put my name in for the running, but
The consort is going to be a problem.
why would Shal be a problem? Shal has always been, for hundreds and hundreds of years, Shal has been the guiding hand of the king.
Really?
Yes.
Fun fact.
Well, no. See, the funny thing is that either means that she's always been a succubus, or at some time she was replaced.
Exactly.
Probably recently, given
Yeah.
anything weird lately. No, let's. If the townsfolk are saying the king was really nice until lately, then you know what's up here, right? I played an RPG before.
Oh yeah.
He says, but if you wish, if our clan has this egg, I am sure that we will be at the very, very top of the. I'm sure that with enough powerful words, this vote will succeed. The lords are very, very tired of the current situation.
Oh God,
I cast Shatter.
that's exactly what I'm thinking. I cast Shatter on the succubus.
I mean, if we're going loud, we can. I'm in favor of that. Can you give me a gesture of I'm about to go loud before you do that, so I can get a little closer to her?
I was going to say
I'm-
I'd like
I'm
to
one of the
follow
only
that up
people who can
immediately
melee her.
with banishment at the same
I'm sorry.
time.
Actually, no, you can too. The two of us can actually melee her because you've got Dawnbringer and I've got magic weapons and resistance to charm. Remember, Dawnbringer can like mind control you to bypass that.
Right.
So the two of us are the only ones who can safely fight her. So if you're actually doing that, Liam, could you give us a nod first so we can be? I'm sure we have a ham sandwich,
Equivalent.
Yeah.
I think it is hand sandwich.
Yeah. I'm just going to turn to these two and say, I think we should rid the court of the problem.
Okay. Yep. Nope. I'm gonna maneuver up there. The idea. So okay, I have a feeling that the only thing that's going to work in our favor here. I'm going to say this out loud to you, Tastans. I think the only thing, if we like try to sneak up to her, she's going to notice. She's going to realize at some level her cover's blown, and she's going to take that to her advantage. I think we need to literally bum rush her and get in an alpha strike. Right? You with me?
I'll back your play.
Okay. So I can get up there very quickly.
I
Do you wanna
cannot get up there quite as quickly.
That's why I'm bringing this up. Do you want me to cast fly on you before we start this battle? Save him the spell. I can just get up there and then and you can zip up there.
Okay, yeah, we'll try that.
Okay, so this is a level 3 fly, specifically. I should actually double check something before I do this. So give me a second, because I don't remember the exact rules in 5th edition. I don't know 5th edition as well as I did 3.5. So I got to double check. Yep. So your speed will be 60. That's what I thought.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's what I thought. Okay, so you now have fly for I think 10 minutes, and because I could have looked, but I'm an idiot and I didn't look.
Bullet
And you
train.
now have, yeah, and,
Yep.
and yeah, you can race up there. I'll go like a couple seconds ahead of you, so the two of us just get to her, at the same time in character, and we just unload full tilt. And I think that's what our plan is. And Liam, what you could probably do is, as part of the surprise run, is you go first, you shatter first, right? And that's what initiates it, and then we just zip up there, right?
Yep.
As part of our surprise round.
Okay. So Liam is starting this off.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry.
And no, this can go.
Don't be sorry yet. Be
This
sorry
might actually
later.
be a TPK right here. This will be interesting.
See what happens. All right. So Liam, you're shattering on the succubus.
Yep.
Okay. Where specifically are you centering this?
That's a
Um,
very good question.
So I am trying to.
Do dwarves care about their thrones?
Yeah.
No
Generally,
reason.
yes.
No reason. I'm just
As
asking.
luck would have
I
it.
mean, generally, that's one of the things I care most about.
Okay. So yeah. So just a thought, Liam.
You can't off center it if you don't like. I'm assuming you're not dropping it straight in the king.
No, I'm trying to avoid hitting. Yeah, so it's a 10-foot sphere.
Yes.
Can I get a 10-foot?
Oh yeah, sure. Find radius. We may need to resize this. We'll see. Yeah, a little bit. I'm just going to put it right here just so I can resize it real quick.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually think that's precisely
That looks right.
that's roughly done. Yeah. Okay. Place it where you'd like.
Is that a pillar?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's bad.
I mean, I
Is
gotta
that
be
a-
real. I'd rather you take out the pillar than the throne.
Yeah, me
Is that
too.
a support beam? No reason.
These would be
That's just-
pretty crappy drawers if like one pillar took out the entire palace. I'm
But
just
they are
saying.
they are dwarver.
Well,
Just point it out.
So there we go. If I center it there, she's caught in the blast, but it's not hitting the king.
Yep. All right. So the first official start of fight in the throne room has begun. So you turn around, Liam, and you unleash a ear-piercing shatter in the corner of this throne room.
Yeah.
To be clear, Taster and I are already heading out by the
Yes.
time he casts it. I just want to be very
Go
clear
ahead
about
and
that.
roll some damage.
Yeah.
And we will end with this shatter and resume next time.
Ooh. So that's a wait. 25.
Okay. So doesn't blow out the pillar, but it takes it, or does it? Actually, I do make a save against this. Oh, actually, pretty well. So a huge chunk blows out of the pillar. Part of this table and chairs just blows apart, like the nice Zerk wood going all over the place. There is cracks and craters in the floor, and you see the thunder energy go towards the middle here and hit an invisible force and rebound off. as you see a shimmering wall of force ripple and then turn invisible once again as it completely rebounds off of it. So you can tell that there is a wall of force that is surrounding this place.
Well, shite.
And we'll resume rolling initiative next time.
Oh, yay.
Tune in next time for the TPK of the party as we try to push through a force field.
Fortunately, this king is paranoid and also wealthy.
Yeah. I mean, we're not trying to kill him, maybe.
Yeah, but there's certain someone that happens to be in there too.
Yeah.
I will give you this though. There is one positive thing about it. You can't plane shift through walls of force.
Yeah, actually, that's legit. The problem is, by the time we break through that, she will be able to plane shift out.
Yeah. We'll come to that next time.
I like the idea that every single dwarger in here just immediately turns towards Liam.
Yeah. Well, most of them are covering their ears now because there's a huge shatter that just rang out. But we'll get to what happens next time.
Sorry, guys.
Freaking force field.
This is exciting. New adventures. This is the first time somebody's fought in a throne room ever.
Really?
Yes. I will say this. The very first group I've run through this who has even gone into the hold.
Oh, wow. That's... They're just thinking, I can't wait of all the different ways I can kill the
Yeah.
party now. This is great.
But it's one of those, this can potentially pay off in a huge way.
I mean, if we could take her down and get rid of the king, yeah, no, we have done some extremely good here if we manage this. If we don't, then the game is over and we're re-rolling or starting a new adventure. This is an all-in.
This is
right
the
here.
culmination.
Yeah, this is kind of, yeah. I'm so mad at that force field because that was a good alpha strike. You were going to do a full shatter. I was going to charge up and unload a full 4 attacks on her face, all magic damage, so it pierces her. And you were going to do whatever you're going to do, Taz. I assume just right in her face.
Yeah.
Well, I was either going to try that or try and banish if like she's off kilter enough that can't make the save. But the problem is it's a succubus and it's a charisma save.
Ooh.
So that's going to suck. And real, like, that's kind of like the last ditch effort. So yeah, I'll probably lead with Dawnbringer.
I will tell you this just because you may be thinking about this for next time. So wall of force.
How's that work in 5th?
So, obviously there's a huge paragraph on, how it's shaped and what happens when it appears. That doesn't really matter at this point because it's already there. But here's the second phrase of it. Nothing can physically pass through the wall. It is immune to all damage, cannot be dispelled by dispel magic. A disintegrate spell destroys the wall instantly. It extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall. So there is one spell that I know of that can pass through there and damage the succubus, because otherwise it blocks spells unless you just teleport in and out of it. And it's one of those ones you don't expect, but it is actually Sacred Flame. Because Sacred Flame ignores all cover.
Oh yeah, it literally says that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
So it's one of those things where like, it's the Chekhov's cantrip, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is the one. This is how I, kill things inside of buildings or force fields or things like that. Yeah, but this is there's some history behind this. This is one of the few genre savvy kings, but also because there's a tendency for deep kings to get assassinated.
Yeah.
So they have massive protection. I mean, he's got his warhammer next to him on the throne.
Yeah. He just used it.
Yep.
Ironically, he probably just got rid of someone who might have been an ally for us, at least temporarily. Not long term, because the Flame Keepers are evil and stupid and working for the dragon. But for right now, he might be convinced to help us fight the king.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he was a priest.
Yeah.
But they're like government evil, right?
I mean, yeah, you know, it's
Government evil.
all right. Hang
Yeah.
on. In order to torch you properly, I need section 35,
Mhm,
paragraph
mhm.
6. Hang on. Sign here, please. And here. And here. There you go.
And
Okay,
bring back Form
stab.
C.
Stab. Oh my god. I can't wait till my lunch break. Stab.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. So we have to be thinking about it for next time for sure, because you know maybe maybe the solution might not just be to try and power through this.
Honestly, I think that completely invalidates me as a monk. I've actually been looking over my ability. I don't think I can do anything about that unless there is some space in that wall, which I don't think is how that works. Although if you want to rule that there is, just because it would be a nice moment, that would be kind of cool.
In the wall of force, let me look.
I mean, it's contiguous with another panel. The wall is a quarter inch thick. I was actually reading it here.
So I'll give you this. There is one way around it that is already somewhat opened up. And that is because it is a hemispherical dome, and Liam just blew up part of the floor.
Oh, dude, I'm using it. This is it.
Yeah.
I'm finally. I've been sitting on this ability for like 17 billion seconds.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I could squeeze through spaces.
That'll.
And I've been
probably look
waiting for the
non-threatening.
moment to jump on that this whole time.
That'll probably look non-threatening when a demon slithers its way.
Yeah,
into
it'll be
the
great.
cave.
I can't wait. I'll just slither in there. Hi.
Yeah.
Be a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
So I'm just going to do this to mark like where things are cracked and whatnot.
Okay.
So it may be important.
Oh my gosh.
I can't banish the field because it has to be a creature.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the shadow actually did leave somewhat of an opening.
It did. I can get in there now. I'm the only one.
Wow.
I'm gonna go in there and toe to toe with a succubus by myself.
Good luck.
I can stand outside casting
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just sacred
radiant
flames.
constantly.
Sacred
Well,
flames.
that's a hard situation for the succubus, because if you start going toe to toe with it, it kind of has to fight you. And normal Duragard don't do that.
Yep. No, I think that is actually going to be my strategy, is just to provoke and force a confrontation and hope and pray that I'll survive the aftermath of the encounter.
Oh, the king could just like annihilate you. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
He hits like a truck,
Oh.
I'm sure, and he's right there. And
What are his stats? Let's see.
I mean, he one-shot that priest.
Yeah. And that wasn't cutscene. That was actually, he can do that much damage.
Yeah. I figured.
He, probably weaker than you'd expect, stronger than you'd hope.
Is this a glass cannon situation? That might work in our favor.
No.
Yeah. Bahamut, if you want to get my back, now would be a really good time for it.